Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is a football Friday across the Delaware Valley. Well, we love our Fridays, man. Good stuff. Lots to get to today, but we're going to start with what happened last night. Oh, man, that was good. I thought the Packers had them. But before we get into that and set up Eagles-Carolina, by the way, Anthony Gargano Show, brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union, TrueMark.com/PHLY, and check out the credit union difference today. All right, I got to tell you, I don't know what it is, but I just don't understand some of these coaching decisions. I got to start with Dan Campbell and some of the decisions. He's got a lead, right? The lines are up 3. It's 4th and like a long one. He's at his own 30-yard line, and he goes for it. And not only do they go for it, but they run a pitch. So he's like 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and of course they get stuffed because the Packers' front is really good. The Packers' front is good against the run. And so you go for it with the lead. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. So what happens is, all right, you get stuffed. The Packers go down and score a touchdown. And then he does it again at the end of the game. The way the clock was going, if you just kick the field goal, the Packers get the ball, 36 seconds left, no timeouts. I know you got to kick a field goal, but still, 36 again, no timeouts, takes away the middle of the field a lot. I don't understand it. I don't know why you even tried to go for it on 4th down. And what happens? Goff gets stepped on. He's falling down. If it was college football, the play's over. He gets the handoff off. They get the 1st down. I just don't understand these decisions. The reckless decision-making. I don't get it. The other thing was, listen, it's before the half. It's 4th down. You're at the 1-yard line. All right, I get it. Try to get the 7, and it worked. He did it twice, and it worked. I still go, what's wrong with the 3? I know the 7's great, but if you actually manage the game where you punt in your own territory, I was watching the game with my buddy Tooch, and we're sitting there, and I'm going, he goes, what would you do if that was Sirianni going for it in his own 30-yard line? 4th down at the 1, all right, I get it. You're, Big Bulls Dan. I get it. But going for it at your own 30-yard line, I just don't understand coaching decisions. I don't. It's me, I guess. I don't understand it. How could you go for it in your own territory like that? Again, the Packers' front is good. And plus the play call was awful. You got to get out of it. I think Goff checked to it, but if you see that the look they have, you got to call timeout. You just can't run that play and get stuffed. And right away, they gave up a touchdown. I just think I don't understand some of the moves. And remember, the moves bit him last year in the NFC Championship game against the Niners. They should have won the game if not for him being Big Balls Dan. I don't get it. And my buddy Tooch is right. If that was Sirianni, he would have gotten eviscerated. And he should have been. Like, if you're going to go for it in that situation, and at the end of the game, my God, the Packers have 36 seconds, no timeouts. All right. Your defense got to be able to hold that. Instead, you risk it all by going for it on fourth down, and Goff trips, gets stepped on. It's unbelievable to me. Crazy. Anyway, the game itself is a shame because the Eagles are so close. Man, I want that one seed. When you watch the lines, now they got pushed around a little bit in the second half. The only problem is their offense is borderline unstoppable. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. It would be an awesome matchup because I think the Eagles' defense is the best in the league. So Eagles' defense against the Lions' offense is really, really interesting. But between Gibbs and Montgomery, Laporta at tight end, and then, St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and now they got Tim Patrick, who's back. You remember Patrick played for the Broncos, and he's back. He got injured, the whole thing. I mean, they're formidable. Their offense, they have a great line like the Eagles' O-line. Their O-line's really good. They're probably 1-1A, Eagles and Lions, when it comes to their O-line. Now, defensively, I think you can have your way. I think the Eagles can run on them. But, boy, man, it would be so much better if you get them at the Linc. Like, if you could get them at the Linc, it would be huge. Now, here's the problem, right? The problem was if the Lions lose to Green Bay, that's a conference loss, common opponents, because the Eagles beat Green Bay. So that would have been huge. Had they lost, the Eagles would have been in the driver's seat for the 1 seed. Instead, now you got to play the loss game. And now you got to hope that they go down twice. You got Buffalo coming in next week. We'll see. In Detroit. And then they have a tough game at Chicago and then at San Francisco. So it's still possible. The 1 seed would be huge. It's Johnny Marks. Every morning he walks from his show in the other studio to the bathroom, right? But with the coat on. He's got the big giant coat, right, with the fur collar. And I just wonder, like, you go to the bathroom, you're not wearing your coat. I don't wear my coat to the bathroom. Take my coat off, do your business, come back, you put the coat on. Sometimes I work.
Sometimes I take my shirt off. Costanza, I'm in the bathroom.
That's
the jacket.
Johnny Marks might be Costanza.
The jacket's crazy. Like,
you guys, the jacket on. It's not just a jacket. It's a vortex, like Siberian coat.
It really is.
In the bathroom.
It's like you should be in Alaska. You don't take the jacket to the bathroom.
Nah,
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't. We got to attack him when he comes out. I just got to get it. I need an explanation. It's bothering me because we're doing our opening monologue talking about Lions Packers, and I'm seeing him walk into the bathroom with the big coat on. It's wild.
Bathroom jacket is a no-go.
You wash your hands with the big
coat.
coat.
It's not a jacket. It's a coat.
It's a coat. The coat.
Siberian kind of thing.
You can't even wash your hands. The coat's going to get wet.
Right. Plus, you can't move.
No.
It's got about like 6 inches of fluff.
Yes.
He's been in there a bit too. Maybe he's number 2 with the jacket on. I can't even have it.
I don't even think about that. Come on, bro.
Sitting down with the jacket.
Sitting down with the jacket.
Too much.
The jacket's been flagged like Brentano's.
Johnny Marks.
The jacket's been flagged.
Johnny Marks. Listen, something's bothering me. I got to ask you.
Yeah.
I got to ask you. So every morning, we watch you come in after your show, and then you go to the bathroom.
Right.
But you got the coat on in the bathroom.
Sometimes.
No, we've been tracking this. You've been having the coat into the bathroom every morning. Now, why do you have the coat on in the bathroom?
I leave.
Doesn't it restrict you?
All right, so let's check it out. All right, you got me on camera.
Yeah, like. No, that's a big coat.
This gets in the way.
What if that thing flies? Then you got a wet coat.
Wet coat.
You don't want a wet coat.
How you
You don't want a pea coat. Now there's a pea coat and then there's a pea coat. You don't want a pea coat.
Definitely a pea coat.
All right, well, I mean, I guess I could take the jacket off and then put it back.
Put it on the table.
I mean,
It's just a few feet.
The jacket's been flagged at this point. It's been in the men's room.
So here's my question. I actually need to watch it so you can look at this.
Yeah.
little
That's
bathroom-
what happens when you take it in.
A little bathroom smudge.
So,
He got sludge on it.
Some sludge on
see,
the jacket.
but see, and like I'm surprised because when I worked with you on radio, you used to take a piece of pizza, all right? And you have these it's like a table like this where they have the microphones or whatever. If you put a black light on that, you would probably start throwing up on the spot. And would take a piece of pizza, like there was a plate, and just put it down on the thing, and then pick it up and eat the pizza. So
No, I put it on a. It was always
piece of paper.
Piece of paper.
Well, so you're not a big germ guy.
No,
Yes, I don't think.
correct.
You're not a big germ
I'm not
guy.
a germsman.
No, I am a big germ guy.
I know you are.
Why
So-
don't you take your coat
Well,
out
that's
of the
even more
bathroom?
reason.
More germs putting it down there than
On a table?
No,
It's just a table.
Bathroom? Oh, way.
Go get a black light and put it on that
On
table.
but what's there but dust?
There are bathroom particles floating around in there.
Yeah.
They're
fair
all
enough.
sticking on that jacket.
He's a germ.
Coat.
The two
Fair
of you guys, because Tyler, the bot, is the biggest germ guy. So the bot, between you and the bot, God, you see germs coming out of they're wearing black coats coming out to get you with machetes.
I don't wear my shoes in the house because I realize when you walk into a urinal, a lot of times you're standing in piss.
Yes.
So I know when people come in my house with their shoes on, I want to be like, take your freaking shoes off, you animal.
Yeah, no, right. I
But
agree with you.
I don't. But
I agree with
Please
you.
wear your coat to the bathroom, please.
I agree with you.
Out of here with that.
Go Birds.
go, Bird.
There he is, Johnny Marks. Every morning. Make sure you're watching my boy. He's the best. All right. Now we get that out of the way. VG, what don't I understand about coaching? About decision making? It's driving me nuts.
I think what you're getting wrong and what is confusing you is that you think it takes a certain amount of intellect to become
a head coach? Yes.
And I think some of these guys are just dumb. I think Dan Campbell is a guy who is there for culture and attitude, but he's not
he's a
bright.
great guy. I like him.
Yeah, I don't think he's bright. And I think he believes a little too much in Ben Johnson. And I am afraid watching that last night that if Nick's watching that, now it's a contest.
Oh, no.
Now the table's been set where Nick's like, oh, they're the best team in football. Like, we could do this too.
Oh, no.
That is a fear I have.
I don't want. Could you imagine that game where nobody punts, nobody
my
kicks
gosh.
field goals, right? Like,
Yeah.
It would be the ultimate Madden game.
Who could be
right?
riskier?
Like, nobody's punting and nobody's kicking field goals. It's crazy. But you're at your own 30-yard line.
Yes. And
What would possess you to do that? When you have a lead, it's the third quarter. And by the way, you just gave up a touchdown.
Yeah, it's weird because I want to say I don't think he believes in his defense, but if you
No, I don't even buy that. The drive before that was aided by a 59-yard pass to Watson. Right? It wasn't like they were getting shredded all game. That wasn't the case.
It felt like they were moving the ball at will, Green Bay. It felt like
I don't think it was that well. I thought they moved the ball, but I didn't think. The first half, actually, if you go back to the first half, what'd they give up? 7. That's it.
I caught it the second half. I watched the Flyers,
Yeah,
man.
Green Bay in the second
I watched
half
the
was
Fly
moving the
boys.
ball a lot better.
Listen, God bless the Flyers.
Heck of a game. Show some life against the reigning champs.
Dude, really. You
they had a
fall
goalie?
behind. I know. You fall behind against that squad. I mean, that squad's ridiculous. Reinhardt,
Dude,
Barkov.
That power
Bennett.
play they have is
Like, they're just sick, right? Like, they're unbelievable. And to come back, you fall behind 3-0, you come back, that shows a lot of stones. And tip it, bang, bang.
yeah, man. 2 goals in one shift, basically.
I mean, I love the heart on that team. Like, they show a lot of stones.
They're going in
man.
the right direction for sure.
They listen. I did that. I told you I did this podcast the other day. This guy Matt, and he's one of these. I'm a tough guy. Like, it's great being a tough guy in your basement and never having to see anybody and own what you say and have understanding about builds and all thing. You know, it's like, well, how long we got to wait for the Flyers? You got to wait for the Flyers. Like, they really just, like, committed to a rebuild. If you wanted to bitch and moan about it, yeah, I get it before. But once you get Briere and Jonesy in there, they're there, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Helfrey, they're all on board. Like, now we got to rebuild this thing correctly. And they're all on their own pace of doing it. They're the last team you want to bitch about.
Now you're going to be impatient with the Flyers?
Exactly.
It's been like 45 years.
He's yelling at me. When are they going to make a trade?
Yeah.
You're not making a trade now, dude.
Nah, man. Unless there's a goalie available.
Right. Like, now you're going to play for the draft. You're going to see what you got a whole season.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And I got to tell you, what the Flyers showed against Florida last night was impressive.
I agree. They had some life, man, and they put up goals, 5 goals.
I know.
Some dumb penalties at the end. Got put on.
Well, I mean, Andre falls down.
Yeah.
The skate issue.
Yeah.
So you're stuck, and that kills you.
That power play of the Panthers.
I mean, it's sick. It's sick.
Yeah.
But let me get back to this. Yeah. I don't understand the mindset. The first half, just to fill you in, the Lions defense played well.
Okay.
Right? Like, they held them to 7. 17-7 at halftime. Right? Like, you held them. You give up a touchdown, aided by a long play to Watson. All right. Then you get the ball back. And why would you go for it at your 30-yard line?
Yeah, if that happened here, we would lose our minds.
What's the chat say? Like, what are they saying?
Oh.
Maybe I feel antiquated. Sometimes, like, this mindset, and I go, am I wrong? Like, am I just not getting it?
Yeah, you're not
Scroll back.
wrong.
There's a lot of ferret chat about how many ferrets you could make out of Johnny Marks' fur on his hood.
Sirianni would be
There's a lot of ferrets there.
Yeah,
Right?
They're
Yeah.
estimating you can probably make 3 ferrets out of that
I
fur.
can see that. It's a good ferret. I love ferrets.
Sirianni would be crucified if he did something like that on your own 30.
Dude,
Yes.
yes.
He
I mean, they
should
got
be.
extremely lucky that they got. I know it was like it was 4th in inches, but like you got extremely lucky that held up, you know. And then what do you do after it? You get the first down, and then he goes for the field goal. There wasn't enough time on the clock that if you went for the field goal on that 4th down,
Well, no,
still
what he was
could've held it.
doing was he just wanted to bleed the clock.
he wanted to bleed the clock.
It wasn't like you were going to go for a touchdown. He wasn't thinking, let me go for a touchdown. He was thinking, I don't want to give the ball back at all to Green Bay.
Because it was
To
like
go down
45
and try to
seconds at
tie
that
it.
point, right?
There would have been about 36 seconds.
Yeah, they had no timeouts.
No
Green Bay.
timeouts. No timeouts. I just didn't understand the risk. Like, you're risking, you see they stopped you before. Why? I know you're a good running team. I get it. But man, that's big stones. Like, you're gonna just give up the whole opportunity to kick a field goal and win it. Because why? You're afraid that they're going to go down the field in 36 seconds?
And it's not like he made that decision right away. I remember it took a couple minutes for him to really, like, because they were looking. I remember the camera was panning over to the kicker. They're panning over to Jared Goff. You know, so he took a couple minutes to really, hey, should I do this? And he wound up doing it.
Well, I don't know. The postgame, all the postgame remarks with Amon St. Brown and stuff were like, oh, all week we talked. We're going on 4th down. We're going on 4th down. So, like, I mean, this was the game plan.
I just don't think you trust your defense. I think he didn't trust his defense at that point.
I think he may just trust Ben Johnson.
I don't know if it's distrust of your defense as much as they believe that, you know, we can end the game. That one, like the 2 ones, listen, 4th down at the goal line, the 1 yard line. All right, I would have kicked the field goal before half, but look, he got it. All right, and he did it again, and then you had to go then because you were down 4. But all right, twice, 4th down at the goal line, he doesn't do the field goal. He kicks it. I mean, he goes for it and gets it. All right. Own 30 in the 3rd quarter, I don't do it. I don't get it. I don't do it. And then the other one that just was wild to me was at the end of the game. I just don't know what you were. I get it. You want to try to end the game there. But if they stop you, you're done. Now you're going to overtime.
I guess he felt good about overtime.
Or maybe not even overtime. They're going to have a chance to go down the field and beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't think he's super bright. Great dude, great coach.
But I think there's a thing now, like, who's got the bigger stones, like being uber aggressive.
Amongst certain coaches, I think so.
Listen, I like being aggressive. I do. But I just think there's a fine line between that and being foolhardy.
Fred in the chat says he would have stroked out if Nick would have done that.
Right? Freddie would have been like, oh
yeah.
my God. Like, could you imagine? I always put myself in the position of like, if that's my squad and he's doing it. And remember, there's precedence here. He blew the Niners game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy blew the championship game. They were better than San Francisco last year. They should have been in the Super Bowl. He blew the game.
As Ron White says, who's coming to Parks can't fix stupid.
That's exactly right.
That's it, man.
It's pretty wild. I just want. So how do we feel about? I mean, listen, they're banged up.
Lions are good.
They are.
I think they're beatable. I think the Eagles can beat them.
The issue I see with the Lions is you're going to have to outscore them. I don't know if you can outscore them strictly with the running game that we have.
Yes, fair.
It's going to come down to Fangio.
Fair.
Defense
and the young
make some
kids.
stops.
Now,
Sure.
here's the only thing. The only thing is, I think you can run on them.
Oh, you can run on them.
I mean,
I think
Josh Jacobs ran on him.
Yeah, well, exactly. 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had pretty good
And
success.
Saquon's way better than Josh
Right?
Jacobs.
You know. And
And
the
a better
Eagles' O-line is better than the Packers' O-line.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think the Eagles should be able to control the ball.
Yes.
And here's the thing. You control the ball on them, then you're keeping that offense off the field, and then you get them impatient. But the one thing about them offensively is they're nasty, without a doubt. But they're very impatient. So you can see, like, they want 7s.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to go 7s.
Yep.
So if you get a stop, and, you know, here's Coop. Coop comes up on St. Brown or tackle, dislodge, Eagles ball.
Yeah.
They could frustrate the Lions.
It's all going to come down to Fangio and the young kids, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean,
If you
dude,
get
know
them
what
here,
they do
though,
so
I
well?
think you beat them up.
Dude, they run great play action. Like, Goff is good at it. It's like every pass play is a play action. Just to buy the receivers, just that second, man. And
I
by
know.
Goff,
Well,
that
you
second.
freeze. That's the beauty
They're
of play
very
action.
effective
Well,
at
again, when you have Gibbs, did you see the route Gibbs ran out of the backfield?
I don't
Did
know
you
which
see that?
one. Mm-mm.
Oh, he was on the 4th down, on the touchdown. It was a 4th down touchdown.
Was it a screen or no?
No. It's 4th down at the 1.5 yard line, right? So he comes out of the backfield. You think he's going to the outside.
Oh, yeah.
He cuts it back inside the defender, and Goff's got a layup. And the route, like, I'm like, damn. Like, and I know he used to run routes with the receivers at Alabama. That dude is he's a great player.
He's a great player.
Oh, my God. I mean, the route he ran was freakishly good.
Yeah.
It was great route.
They even did the one play where it was total misdirection. It looked like it was going to the right and they ended up giving it to a receiver going to the left. And it's just the disguise they do. They do a lot of disguise, and they're very good at it.
Listen, their offense is really, really good. I mean, again, Montgomery's terrific.
I love that guy. I would love him to be the Eagle.
I mean, it was a great signing, right? Like, to have the two of them, I mean, it just makes your offense. Now, all of a sudden, Goff is a point guard, ball handler, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
I mean, he made one bad play last night. You could see he rushed it, and he was trying to look off the safety, and he actually didn't see a linebacker in front of him. He threw the pick. It was a bad pick, but, you know, and he'll do that every once in a while. But that offense works. Like, he's good.
He is.
Like, he makes good throws.
He is.
Down the field, he spreads it out.
We'll see how it is with Jalen Carter in his face, though.
He's been clean. He's been clean all season, too, with turnovers.
Well, their offensive line is great.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't throw
part
picks.
of it, right? Like, part of it is keeping pressure off your quarterback. And they had no Taylor Decker last night, who's their tackle, who's really good. And they were able to kind of manage it.
Yeah, I mean, they're good.
They're a likable team, too.
They are.
I hate saying
listen,
that.
I agree. As much as I don't understand Dan Campbell, I like him.
Yeah, I like them.
I like him. I do. I have to admit it. I like that they're good. Eagles-Lions, I'm dying to see that.
Oh, man.
I just wish it was here. Because the Eagles, I really feel confident Eagles beat them here.
Hey, it's still possible.
That turf frightens me.
It's still possible.
It scares me playing them in that dome.
I still think
They're a
they
different
lose a
team
game
in
or
that
two,
dome.
man.
I do too. I think they lose at Chicago. I think there's a chance to lose at Chicago.
I think the Bills have them.
The Lakers game's the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they got to play the Bills. They got to play Minnesota. They have to play Chicago.
Right.
They
At
get-
Chicago.
They get the
easy
Bills at home, though.
Two
At
losses.
San Francisco. I don't know what San Francisco is going to look like, but maybe it's a pride game. I don't know. I mean, I know they're banged up and the whole thing, but at some point, that's still a team with the bones of a great team, and they could look at the Lions and go, you know what, we're gonna skunk you again. That's what I'm hoping for, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of our people, shall we?
How about our friends over at C-Jam Construction? Man, you can't get enough help with stuff around the house and trusting people. C-Jam Construction are people you can trust. They are family-owned home remodeler specializing in decks, bathroom, and flooring. And their goal really is to help their clients alleviate the challenges and frustrations that come with home remodeling. And there are tons of them. So these are the people for you. They're running a special on their CoreLogic luxury vinyl plank flooring. Prices are starting at $249 per square foot, and that's a savings up to 35% off retail. Taxes, fees are extra, but this CoreLogic flooring, it's 100% waterproof, formaldehyde free, which is extremely important if you have kids or pets who spend a lot of time on the floor. And it features an elegant natural wood look and feel.
I'm a floorsman myself.
I like being on the floor.
Yeah.
I like cuddling my dogs
No,
on
I
the
like
floor.
the floor.
Yeah.
We used to sit and watch games on the floor, my cousin and I.
Yeah. So you want to make sure there's
I
no
got problem with
formaldehyde.
the
You don't
floor.
want formaldehyde on there.
I'm a big floor guy.
CoreLogic.
No problem with the floor.
CoreLogic's no
Lean
less.
up against the couch.
Yes. Love it.
See, I can't get comfortable on the floor.
No?
I need a pillow or I need.
You're an
Well,
aristocrat.
maybe you got to upgrade your floor. Call the C-Jam guys.
need
Get a little more
C-Jam.
comfortable flooring.
Yeah.
And you're right, but the dog's there. I love
Yeah.
the dog. I get all, come on, Gooch.
Hey, well, anyway, this CoreLogic is no less than 20 mil wear layer, which means it's going to last you a while. You're not going to have to redo your floors every 5 years. So be sure to mention PHLY when you call in at 856-329-2933 about your next home project. See their full selection of luxury vinyl plank flooring and learn more about the products and warranties on their website, cjamconstruction.com/flooring. And I also want to talk to you about...
No,
No?
I'm going to talk to you about Rothman.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
going to
like
go
Rothman.
Rothman. We've got to go
All right,
Rothman
yeah,
first.
let's go
We're
Rothman.
going to visit with our Rothman doctors a little bit later. Hey, joints aching, hands cramping, back out of whack.
Yes.
Rothman's got you. All those ailments. I was teasing Greg earlier because he's got arthritis here and he's got this kind of, he got a crook.
Hey, HIPAA violations, man.
I'm not a doctor. All right. They're the doctor. Their mission is high quality, compassionate, affordable care rooted in research. Research leading to treatments, new treatments, better outcome. Listen, each Rothman doctor is laser focused on their specialty. All right. Hip, hand, knee, spine, ankle. All right. You name it. They got a team for every body part right in your backyard. So, you can still cross over that defense, train the jumpers, right? Hit home runs, do your thing. And of course, root like no other fans in the country. They're Rothman Orthopedics. They specialize in you. And for more than 50 years, what's the matter? We living it. For more than 50 years, Rothman has participated in thousands of groundbreaking research, clinical trials with the goal of advancing knowledge, developing treatments, and improving outcomes for the benefit of our patients. Rothman Orthopedics specializes in orthopedics, and you visit RothmanOrtho.com, right? RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY to make an appointment. What's the matter?
So I was bike changed yesterday.
Yeah.
So they're misconstruing your hat as a Bears hat, which we know it's Clearview.
Oh.
But they're saying Cuz looks like one of the Bears super fans from SNL. With that hat on. The Bears. The Bears.
Yeah, so the Clearview, once again, Clearview Youth. All right, it's youth football. It's not the Bears. It's the kids play. I think they play in this youth organization. All right, that's what they do.
Who's that guy Norm from Cheers? Was he one of those guys?
No,
the Bears.
The Bears on SNL is the best. I know I got the hat on. I'm getting my hair cut today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I went hat. I was like, I'm going to go hat today.
Yeah,
I like to
sometimes
go hat on Friday. Be all footballed up.
the hat's sometimes a good move.
Yeah. Time for a little Franny Films, right? We got my man. Let's get him. The one, the only Franny. You got to get an opening for films.
I do need an opening for films.
Yeah, films needs an opening. What do you say, my brother?
I don't need an opening. We're just meat and potatoes. We're talking football on a Friday.
Nah, I listen. That's part of it, but you still need it open. You need a transition, right? There's always a transition. All right, like when you go from a movie and a scene to a scene, right? You can transition. We transition into films, and I love you. You know I'm a big fan, and I want to have you propped up.
I'll take it. I mean, look, you guys were just talking through this game last night. I mean, that was one of the best games of the year. Plenty to take away there from two of the best in the NFC.
It was. I got to start with you. All right. Listen, I know I'm a little old school. I mean, I'm not 1975. I'm 2005, right? I just don't get, you're at your own 30-yard line. Go for it. I just don't see the merits of it. And then I don't get at 4th and 1 when you have a chance to take the lead to try to bleed the extra 30 seconds off. I don't think the risk reward is worth it.
Yeah, I mean, even that's not even like an analytics thing, because most of the analytic models that are available to the public pointed to the fact that they should have kicked the field goal there. That is a pure, like, we're going to live by the sword, die by the sword. This is our identity type of call there from Dan Campbell in that moment on 4th down late in the game. So I'm sitting there on my couch watching, like, I can't believe he's going for this. I don't think I would have been shocked if Nick Sirianni was in that situation. He would have gone for it. I was shocked by it. And you saw the near disaster, right? I mean, Jared Goff stumbles. If that's a college game, that he's down and that's a TFL and it's likely going to overtime. But look, it's one of those things where even, if you had known what the play call was going to be for Philly Special in Super Bowl 52, and you said, they're going to do what in this situation, in this game? You'd probably say, like, let's just kick the field goal here. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, except, here's the thing. It bit him in the NFC Championship game last year.
Yeah.
But that reckless style of coaching, and the other one too, like, you're at your own 30. I don't see the merits in going for it in that spot. And the other thing too is you run a pitch, right? So you're starting 4 yards. The one thing Green Bay can do, Green Bay is a good front. Green Bay got penetration last night, and they did a good job at stopping that run game last night. And now you're going to give them a chance to get that kind of penetration? I didn't get Ben Johnson's call, and I don't like going for it.
Yeah, I didn't love the play call in the situation on the one backed up in their own 30. But I think, look, this is the team that's going to be aggressive. They're going to try and steal possessions and keep the football as much as possible. They're putting a lot of faith in a defense that, I mean, they are depleted right now from an injury standpoint. They're losing guys left and right over these last few weeks. Obviously, it goes back to Aiden Hutchinson in the first half of the year. But, I mean, even last night, like one of their low...
You've lost your front. They got decimated up front. Now they started to get guys back in the secondary last night.
Yeah, Anzalone, they're expecting back here in a few weeks. But, I mean, one of their lone guys that was left was Aleem McNeil, and he got hurt last night. He left the game. So this is a team that continues to lose these pieces up front. Yeah. But, I mean, credit to them. Credit to General Manager Brad Holmes, to Dan Campbell. I mean, the guys that they bring in, they don't miss a beat. Like, they're still leading in man coverage. They're still leading in pressure. They want to stick to their identity. All these guys come in, and they're people that I've never heard of. Like, they've got this Nowaski kid playing on the defensive line. No idea. Like, couldn't tell you, couldn't tell him from Adam before he got signed by the Lions, but they identify guys that fit that culture, that fit their style, and they come in and they don't miss a beat.
You know what? Last night too, there was no Decker last night. And they survived it. I was wondering if they were going to be able to survive that, especially early on. There was a little pressure early on. They did a nice job.
Yeah, and look, this is honestly like one of my big things, coming out of that game as I was going to bed last night. And obviously, look, Eagles fans, you're rooting for the Packers in that situation. You'd like them to win. But honestly, like, the way I look at it, these are two teams that are likely, if things play out the way that we would expect, they're going to meet again on that field in the postseason. And I think Green Bay can win a game like that. And if that's the case, like, obviously home field reverts back to the Eagles. And so, I would expect that the Lions are going to continue to win. It seems like the tiebreaker will now go their way. But I do think when you look at it, I don't know that it's like a foregone conclusion that they will maintain that home field through the NFC title game. Look, they've been dominant. But I think when you look at this game against the Packers,
you got to win one game to get to the. You just got to win one game to get to the.
That's it.
That's the problem, right? Like, you're going to have to play 2. They'll only have to play 1. So,
Yep.
That's the issue. I don't look. You got Buffalo coming in now. I know the conference was a big deal because common opponents with the Packers. It would have been a big deal, but you still got to play Buffalo next week. At Chicago, sneaky, could be freezing. You don't know. And then at San Francisco, they may look at you like, this is our Super Bowl. We're done. And we're going to rise up and try to bite you again. And then Minnesota to end the season.
Yep. Yeah. And look,
tough.
and all the listeners, all the viewers right now know that you need the Lions to lose 2 of those games, and for the Eagles to finish with a better record in order for them to capture that 1 seed. So that's not even completely out of the question either. But no, I come away from that. We know the Lions are a very good team. They do have some holes. They do have a way you can get after this team. And I think that the Packers are a team that they're going to have to go on the road and beat them. But I think that that is a winnable game for them in the future.
How do you feel Packers Birds? Because
I think
I will say they're nasty in that they can run it. Love made some nice throws last night. I thought he played well last night. And
he started to look healthier.
You can get them in the back end, I think, but their front is good. And that's the only thing that bothers me, because if the Eagles had to play Green Bay, it would be here in the playoffs. But the matchup, like they're easy to throw on, but they're good against the run.
Yeah, I'm less worried about their front from a pressure standpoint. I mean, Rashawn Gary's a nice player, but they have not gotten the pass rush productivity from the rest of that group.
No, I'm talking about in the run game. When I say their front, I mean they get penetration in the run game, because with Clark, they'll stuff it up in there and they penetrate their gaps. Their linebackers are good against the run.
Yeah, it's a tough physical football team. That's the way that they're built on both sides. They want to be able to assert themselves on the ground, and then they're going to create big chunks because of Jordan Love's ability to attack all 3 levels of the field. They've got young receivers that can run and create big plays. What he can do down the field in this game. We know Jaden Reed can be that yards after catch weapon. I mean, Eagles fans remember that all the way back from the game in Sao Paulo, Brazil in week 1. He's got that big play ability. And so when you factor that with Josh Jacobs and what he does between the tackles. I mean, even Emmanuel Wilson, when he goes in there, they have a very physical play style. And so that's the identity of that football team. But again, that's why I feel like they can go on the road and beat a Lions team. You get into a rock fight with them. But compared to this Eagles team, I still feel like the Eagles have that ability to beat that football team. When you talk about the issues they've got in the secondary, look, Xavier McKinney has been one of the best ball hawks in football this year. He's been Johnny on the spot a number of times, but I think when you look at the cornerback position, I think they're gettable. I think that's a group that the Eagles would go into that thinking healthy A.J. Brown, healthy Devontae Smith. Those are matchups we can win on the perimeter.
Interesting. You're more confident Eagles v. Packers than Lions v. Packers, even though the Lions have a much better passing game.
Yeah, I think that it's not necessarily that I'm more confident. It's just that I'm confident. I like the Packers. I think the Packers are a good team, and I think when you factor in like division rival things like that's been 2 close games with those 2 teams. And the Packers were down from an injury standpoint the last time those 2 teams played.
Yeah.
And so to me, I look at that and say like that is something where I would not say like, oh yeah, the Lions are definitely going to be in the NFC title game. I think that they'll be on upset alert there in that divisional round if it is Green Bay coming to visit them.
Yeah. All right, let's look at Carolina. I don't want to look ahead. All right, let's look at Carolina. And first of all, let's find Franny's pregame, his preview, all right, his breakdown, which I love every week. It's the greatest thing in the world. And we want to thank everybody who became diehards during our big Cyber Monday sale that lasted a few days. Yeah. And one of the things that you get when you're a diehard is Franny's breakdown. And it's unbelievable. Andrew's going to show it. I mean, it's color-coded. How long does it take you? About 4 days?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 days. It goes back to last week. I've already started the Steelers for next week. Started my work on them yesterday, and so that'll be ready for next Wednesday, next Thursday. Getting ready for Russell Wilson in that group. But I started Bryce Young and this Panthers defense going back to last Wednesday. This is a team now that in the last 4 games They've won twice and they've lost twice on walk-off field goals. And so I think we think of the Panthers as, oh, this is one of the worst teams in football, laughing stock, yada, yada, yada. This team's playing better over the last month. And part of that is Bryce Young. He's not playing like, all pro level. I don't want to go nuts, but I think he's certainly playing better.
He's played much better. Listen, I think Thielen being back there helped him a lot.
Yeah, and he's been a reliable pass game threat for them. He doesn't have the juice that he had once upon a time in Minnesota, but great route runner, outstanding hands. So he gives them a reliable threat over the middle of the field. Xavier Leggett, their first-round pick this year, he's big, he's explosive, he's long, so he can create some big plays for them. And then they've been really reliable with the run game. Chuba Hubbard, over the course of this season, has been a really explosive threat for them out to the perimeter. He's created a lot of big plays. I think that's going to be one of the points of emphasis for this Eagles defense this week, is to really make sure you're setting strong edges. Don't let him get to the outside, because that's where Chuba Hubbard has done the majority of his damage this year, is on those big plays to the outside.
Where Andrew's got it. We're scrolling through. Like, I love all the color codes. Like, look at this. Look at the amount of work put in to Franny's breakdown here. This is outrageous. This is why you want to be a diehard. You get this kind of content. And we appreciate it because we want to produce it. And what Franny does is just incredible, man. It's a ton of work, a ton of film study, a ton of positional breakdowns. I mean, this is what they're doing in the front office.
Yeah, it's try and give a small capsule on every player that the Eagles are going to be matched up against here in this game. And look, this is not a team that you want to take lightly. Like I said, they're playing better over this last month.
All right, so we had this discussion about Saquon and about capping some of his workload a little bit. And I do believe that you need to start capping it a little bit. I'm not saying you're going to shut him down. I'm saying you can't go 26, 27 carries. Like, you got to scale it back. Now, I'll ask you, where are you at with Saquon? Now, obviously, Carolina's a team that's very leaky against the run, so you should have your way with them. But where you stand with that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely got to be at the forefront of their minds as they go into all these games. And maybe it's not something that, Nick Sirianni and Jamal Singleton and Kellen Moore are thinking on Sunday afternoon. Like, you're having those discussions and you're having those meetings and that planning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights as you're getting ready for the upcoming game. I think it's more important than ever for the Eagles to try and replicate that formula for success they had in 2022, where you're getting faster starts offensively. You're building some of these leads. And then you can start to see more Kenny Gainwell once you get to the fourth quarter. You can start to see more Will Shipley once you get to the fourth quarter. You don't want it to be where it's kind of been over the last month and a half, where it's been, okay, you know what? It's one possession games in the fourth quarter. And then Saquon, the dam breaks and he breaks off the 25, 30-yarder. And then that's when the Eagles win by double digits. I think you want to try and see if you can build those leads a little bit earlier, start to get to some of those faster starts. And now you can get Saquon over to the bench a little bit more. But I agree. I mean, we didn't see any Gainwell at all this past week against the Baltimore Ravens. You didn't see Shipley outside of that opening possession. He caught that one pass in the flat. That was the only snap he played the entire game. I think that they need to start trying to find ways to get Saquon a little bit of rest, a little bit of relaxation. They're doing it during the week in practice. He had a rest day on Wednesday. Yeah. But I think when you're looking at it overall for long-term viability, look, he's done and I will give him credit. He's done a nice job at avoiding big hits. I think he's making some good decisions at getting out of bounds, not taking those big shots late in the down the sideline. He's done a nice job of conserving his body that way. But I think overall, the team will have to do him some favors as well here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm with you. I look at him and I'm like, you can't keep up that pace. Now, Greg and I talk about it, and their line's great, so you're getting to the second level, but you're still taking hits. Like, it's not like you're not taking hits.
I crunched some. I was just looking at numbers last night, trying to do my best Franny impersonation. He's got 958 of his 1,500 yards are before any contact at all, which is 64% of his yards are contact free. And he's averaging like almost 3.9 something yards a carry before he's getting any contact. I mean, he's not, I think he's okay like this. I do. I worry more about next year than I do this year. I say, give him the ball 25 times a game.
No.
Yep.
No, you're out of your mind. Why? You don't need, why do that?
Because I want the
against
record.
Carolina? No, forget the record.
Want the record?
You don't want the record.
I do. I do.
You don't want the record. There's nothing to gain.
A record.
Like I get winning games is what you need to do.
You could do both. I don't find them mutually
25
exclusive.
carries, a lot of carries. Listen
This
to
guy,
Films.
Films knows what's up. He's barely getting touched.
Look, I think at the end of I do think you can do both. But I think that at the end of the day, you want to try and again a lot of that production. They can't be going 3 and out 4 times.
Don't pacify him. Tell him he's insane to want to give him 25 carries again the rest of the way. What? Like, if they did that, I would be blasting them.
Yeah, I honestly, the way that the schedule lays out, that shouldn't be necessary, and it should not happen. I would imagine that it won't happen. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not going to get the yards. Look, this is one of my things.
Yeah,
going through the research. This is from NFL Media Research.
14 carries, 180 Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the 7th time since the 1970 merger that the number 1 rushing offense will go up against the worst rushing defense this late in the season. The other 6 times it's happened in history, the rushing offense has won out, and the rushing offense has gone for at least 180 on the ground. Now, I think when you're looking at this group going up against the Panthers, they should be able to have their way early on in this game. So, hey, maybe it's 18 carries for, if he's going for 6 yards a clip, you can do the math there. He's going to be, he's going to have that opportunity to put yards on the board here against the Panthers. Once he gets to the 4th quarter, let's just get him on the bench. He doesn't need 25 carries. Maybe he gets 17. Maybe he gets 18.
Frandy, he shines in the 4th. That's where he gets the bulk of his yardage. Come on,
but he doesn't need
put
to.
Up 230 yards.
we can give him that break. We can give him the week off here every once in a while. And then look, you look up against some of the other defenses they're coming down the stretch
go
here.
Steal a bike chain.
You guys are scared.
Just go tell him to steal a bike chain. All right. Come on, man.
You guys sound
scared. You stealing hubcaps? What else you stealing?
Catalytic converters.
What else you stealing?
I moved on. I just take the whole tire. You see those cars left on cinder blocks? That's my work.
Yeah, I feel you. Oh my God!
I'm down at the docks. I'm a dock worker.
I hear you. I hear you. Just leave Saquon alone. All right.
Feed him.
Let me ask you a question. Let's talk about the pass game for a second because we are. It's so in Philadelphia. It's funny. Like we talk about a team. I'm in love with the defense, so we talk about the defense a lot, the whole thing. And then invariably, it'll go back to the pass game and Jalen. Like, well, what are you seeing from the pass? Now, they haven't needed him to do that, right? To be that guy. What do you see? Now, obviously, the RPO play action just works because you're freezing guys. It's one read. Against the Ravens, it worked, right? Like you don't need to have him throw the ball 25 times a game. What are you seeing from it?
I think early on in the season, we come on and do these segments. We were talking about what's the identity of this Eagles offense? What is the best version of this Eagles offense? And week 1, week 2, week 3, we're saying that this is a downhill run team. That is the best version.
How many times did I tell you
Eagles
that?
offense.
Did I bend your ear over that? Screamed at you over it.
Yeah. And so they adjusted. They saw the same things that we were seeing, right? So now they go from one extreme where, hey, everything is low probability, downfield, outside the numbers, Jalen having to read things out, and it just wasn't working. We saw the inconsistencies there. Now they've swung all the way the other way. Jalen attempts 19 passes. He completes 11 of them, and like 8 of them were RPOs and play action. He had 3 dropbacks in this game against Baltimore that didn't have one of those tags on it with play action or RPO. So you've gone from one extreme to the other. What I would say is at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, we'll say 2 or 3 plays in a game, especially once you get to the playoffs and you get to going up against good defenses where it's 3rd and 7. And in this game, it was that 3rd and 7. Remember, it was a tight game in the 4th quarter, and he hits Dallas Goedert for 9 yards on that mesh play on 3rd and 7. It's going to come down to in the playoffs on those 2 or 3 plays. Can Jalen come through for you either on reading it out where there's no play action involved, there's no RPO, it's 3rd and long. Can he make that play? Can he scramble? Is he going to hit AJ for the deep ball? Is he going to hit Devontae on the deep ball? And it's just a matter of is he going to be able to come through on those 2 or 3 plays? That's the way that this offense is built, and we're not going to be able to have it both ways. It's not like VG where you know what, I want Saquon to break the record and I want him to stay healthy. I think when you look at it, this is an offense that is built through the run game, and it's going to be low volume pass game. Now it's just a matter of can Jalen make those plays when his number is called, when the lights are shining bright.
I'm with you. I agree. It's what I wanted. I think that's the best their best version. I don't need him throwing the ball 35 times. I think it's a mistake. I love what they're. And listen, the way he handles it, he's playing point guard, right?
Yep.
I keep using it, saying the same thing. 3rd and 4, he may take the 5 with his legs. What's the difference, right? Like, are you picking up the first down? That's all that matters.
And I think that, one of the things that we get caught in, and this isn't like just Philadelphia based, this is like, honestly, it's society with everything, not even just sports, it's everything, is like one extreme or the other. Oh, this guy sucks, and get him out of the lineup. He can't win, versus, oh, this guy's the best, and it's everybody else's fault. It's often in the gray, and it's often somewhere in between. And I think when you look at Jalen Hurts and you say, okay, like, what are his strengths as a passer? Obviously his legs, but accuracy wise, like arm talent wise, no issues whatsoever. He can make every single throw. Where he is inconsistent is just reading things out and going through progressions and, being patient that way. Doesn't mean he can't do it. It's just that's where the inconsistencies come in. I've seen plenty of throws this season, not just in other years, not just 2022, but this season. He reads it out. He gets late in the progression. He attacks the middle of the field. Great job. Second window throw this past week against the Ravens, where it's off play action, and he wants to be able to get the ball to AJ Brown, but Roquan Smith's right in the window. He holds it a beat and he attacks the second window. Outstanding job. Like, he's got the ability to make these throws, but that's where the inconsistencies come in. And so as long as he's able to make, two-thirds of those plays, 50% of those plays, when you need them in crunch time, the Eagles are going to be in good shape. Don't turn the ball over, be able to run the ball the way that they're running, play defense the way that's a winning formula, especially in today's NFL.
You're going to ask him the question?
I mean, I just feel like I'm on an island here. Like, I think they're going to need Barkley in the fourth quarter. This is a team that they took the Chiefs down to the wire. They took the only team that beat both the Lions and the Eagles and the Buccaneers down to the wire. I think they're going to win, but I don't know, man. They're playing well, and I think we're going to need Barkley. I don't think this is going to be a roll game.
Yeah, well, I think that, look, you don't want to sleep on this Panthers team, because like I said, they are playing a little bit better. Now the question now becomes like, all right, this defense, because you look at some of the teams that you're talking about, right? So Tampa Bay, that defense is in shambles right now. Kansas City, some of the injuries, the attrition is catching up to them. So they are giving up some play, giving up more plays than we're accustomed to seeing from a Spags unit. Offensively, those teams also can be a little bit up and down, and they've been dealing with some injuries. So now I look at this Eagles team. I just think it's a different beast than what Bryce Young has gone up against. I'm really happy to see that he is playing better. He's playing looser, more confidence. I think that he was just playing so robotic, and honestly, like, he looked tentative the way that he was playing these first couple weeks of the season before he got benched. So he's playing a little bit looser right now with some more, and he's creating as a scrambler. He's making beautiful, like, layered throws down the field. We just haven't seen the Eagles give up a lot of those plays over the course of this season.
Exactly.
Look, Lamar made a couple last.
They stopped Chase. They stopped Neighbors. They're stopping Kupp and Nakua. Basically, you're stopping Zay Flowers. What? You're going to stop? You're afraid of Thielen? He's 1,000. You're afraid of Bryce Young? You're out of your mind. This should be a rout. I'll be disappointed if it's not
double digits.
If it's not double digits.
I would be surprised.
What are they doing well, Carolina? Are they doing anything well on defense? Like, where do they have talent on defense? The corners?
Yeah, I mean, defensively, it's a huge, like, just a dearth of talent. I mean, they lose Brian Burns this offseason. They lose Frankie Louvu this offseason. Derek Brown, who was their best defensive player, he tears his ACL in the first week of the year. So, he's out. They have J.C. Horn, who's a nice corner. I would say, I'd not say that he's like top shelf corner, but he's going to be their shadow guy. My guess is he's going to match up against A.J. Brown across the formation. Grabby, you can get after him a little bit, but this, I mean, all the numbers. I mean, you guys, like you said, I color code that sheet, right? My opponent preview, and it's red if it's bad. A lot of red on that defensive side. It's not a great group right now. They've struggled to create pressure. They've struggled to stop the run. They've struggled to stop the pass. The corners have struggled. The safeties have struggled. The line is creating no pressure. They blitz a lot. They don't get home when they blitz. It's just been a rough group. The one guy I would say, like, all right, point to him. He's given them a little bit of extra juice. DJ Wanham, he dislocated his hip last year in Minnesota, so he was late to the party here this year. He just came off the PUP list a few weeks ago, and so he's played the last 3-4 games, and he's already like third on the team in pressures, just because he's giving them that much juice. So That's going to be the matchup against Jordan Mailata more often than not. He's going to line up all over left tackle. He's 6'5", 260 pounds. He's loose. He's athletic. He can get off the ball a little bit. Jadeveon Clowney's a nice piece, but you don't want him being your A1 rusher in 2024. So I think when you look at those two players plus J.C. Horn, that's honestly that's where their talent starts and ends right now defensively. You should be able to get after this group, and you should be able to do it early.
All right. And we do have, speaking of town, we have town in the chat room. We have some sleuths. They're guessing what your shirt is, and they've come to a Pizza Planet from Toy Story.
Let's go. Pizza Planet.
Nice
It's Friday.
work.
It's pizza night.
Yeah, Eddie Wright in the chat nailed that one.
Nice job, Eddie.
Well done.
That's good. All right, ask him how many you got. What are
you thinking? Gummy wise, 1 to 3. Or do I even need
it ultimately comes down to like, are we just having a good? If we're down to have a good time, then it's a 3 gummy game. If we're down to we want to just enjoy it and soak in everything, then I would say it's a 1 gummy game.
All right, so minimal stress would be a 1 gummy game.
Minimal stress.
I'd say
minimal stress.
Pass it. I'd say pour yourself
a whiskey.
Yeah,
a nice whiskey.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you need.
Don't even waste a gummy on this one.
I don't think you need it. I don't. The only way that it's a game is if the Eagles come out completely flat.
Which they do.
And again, after playing the Ravens, they're a tough team. Like teams that play Baltimore the following week, there's usually a hangover because they're physical games.
Right.
So that would be my only concern.
Look, if the Eagles stick to the formula in terms of not turning the football over, come out, play stop defense, there's no reason to think that this group should give up more than 16 points against this Panthers team. And so they come out, they should be able to handle business, and I think they should win this one handily.
I'm with you, buddy. Thank you, brother. Great work, as always. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate you guys.
Love you. Enjoy it.
Yep.
Brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
The Bet Park Sportsbook Online Casino app, the one, the only. Brad Feinberg, the brain. Brain, were you freaking out last night at Dan Campbell?
Yeah, it's funny, Anthony. They said it was the second time in 45 years someone has done that. Second time. It's kind of like me laying off a piece of pizza. The second time in 45 years it's happened. I gotta just say, man, it's funny. He got away with one. Now, there's 2 things, though, I'm going to say. Because I was rooting it's funny. It was a perfect game for me. I have to be honest. Sometimes it goes your way. I bet the Packers plus 3.5 very big. I wanted Detroit to win the game very big. So I got lucky. They won by 3. It was a perfect result for me because my Detroit position for futures. But I'm watching this. I'm like, okay, they actually stopped them in the 4th and 1 earlier, Anthony. And I didn't like the play call. They went way out wide.
It was a pitch.
When they stopped them.
4 yards,
pitch, which
is what's against the Green Bay that can penetrate who's front.
It doesn't make sense what it's against, Anthony. We knew this from Football 101. That's just not what you. On 4th and 1, that's like the last call you do, literally, like last. But I'm thinking to myself, Anthony, watching this defense, I'm like, okay, if Green Bay has any time. It was really a tough call for me, and I will say I would have kicked the field goal because the reason I would have kicked the field goal is if they don't get it, I have 0.0 confidence in this defense to stop them. 0. And I actually think you would have lost the game. If they kicked the field goal, I would have said, okay, 75% chance probably the game is tied, 25% chance it goes to overtime, and then hopefully,
I would have even said less. There would have been 36 seconds left without any timeouts. Right?
I had no confidence in their defense to get even anything less than a 30-yard complete. Their defense is actually, I just think it's really, really bad. I think there would have been more time than 36 seconds. I'd like to see that again.
The way the clock kind of turned, if you let it all
was
go
it in the
down,
30s?
It was been in the 30s. The one thing about the Lions defense, remember, they are just beleaguered with injuries, right? So they have a lot of
defensive linemen, 3 starting linemen, and 2 starting safeties. 9 of the 11 starters are out. I've never heard of that. I have to be honest. That's at levels I've never heard. So they're missing 9 of the 11 starters. So I still 100% would have kicked the field goal and be like, all right, 30 seconds. Hopefully I can just get like an 8-yard completion and that just. But, man, their defense is really bad right now, and they got away with it because their offense is tremendous, Anthony. Tremendous. That is an incredible offense, and that stadium we talked about, it's Coors Field for them. if they get any of these defensive players back, it's still going to be a really tough team to beat. But this version of the Lions, I don't think they won a playoff game.
Wow.
This version. But I don't think we're going to get this version in the playoffs. But I don't think this is a good team.
Well, I mean, they
right
got their set corners back last night, and that Carlton Davis, that's a big deal to get Carlton Davis. And if you look at it, I mean, they did most of their damage in the middle of the field because safeties, because they couldn't pressure. Jacobs was able to have his way, right?
Sure.
They gave up the one play to Watson. Interesting.
Yes, Watson.
Reed didn't do anything in the game.
No, which was interesting. You're right. He didn't even have a catch, Anthony. Didn't even have a catch. But again, listen, Campbell is who he is. He's not going to change. You either take him. And I'll say this, for as much as I think he maybe goes overboard, one thing I love about Dan Campbell, and I mean love, not like, and I give him a lot of credit. The team believes in him. The team loves him. They'll go through a wall for him, and they don't question him. They don't doubt him. And that this is their guy, and there's no questioning. There's no locker room snippering saying, "Oh,
they love him."
They love him. So to me, if you think about it, Anthony, I think that's the most important thing in a coach is having someone that the team will play hard for.
Listen, I thought he blew the Niners game last year. And
he did.
You know what? You know, he's a guy you look at and you go, I want to play for the guy. You know, he's got that way about him. You know, you go, he gets you fired up. You know,
that was really, I'll put it this way. I determine these things, Anthony. If you're the other team, I always say it like this. This is the best way to do these things. If you're a Green Bay fan last night, do you want him to go for it or kick the field goal? I want him to go for it. Like, I want him to go for it. Because I'm like, okay, I stopped him 4th and 1 earlier. If they don't get it, I think I have a real chance to win the game. I want them to go for it. And that's how I determine these things. Like, what would I do if I was the other team? What do I want?
Yeah.
And I would have wanted them to go for it because I thought there was a real chance they'd stop him. They didn't. He got away with it. But I thought it was not the right move, but it worked out.
All right. So let's look at what you got tonight. We got a couple good college games, man.
Yeah.
You gave me that stat, Tulane
Crazy.
Army, which was unbelievable. Here, listen to this, VJ. This is fascinating. So the Tulane coach is, would you say, what's the number against
John Summerall. John Summerall, last 3 games he's played an option team, 2022, 23, 24. His teams have given up 9 points combined, 0 in the last 2.
Wow.
Now, you can say that's a fluke. You can say, but
no, he knows how to defend it.
That's how usually befuddles people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. And so to me, look, I bet Army laying 4 right now. Let me go on the Park site right now, Anthony. I think it's 4.5.
Tulane, you mean, right?
I bet Tulane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I bet Tulane. It's 4.5. I bet Tulane. I'll choke on it if it doesn't go my way. But that stat really, first of all, I think Tulane's better.
And the other one is fascinating. We agree. I like UNLV in that game against Boise.
It's 50-50 game.
And because Genty, they stopped Genty.
They stoned them.
Yeah,
they stoned them.
Their defense is good, UNLV.
Yeah, they stopped them. Genty was his one bit. He only averaged 3.9 yards a carry in that game, Anthony. And now let me look on the Park side. I think it's 4.5, Anthony. No, okay. It's 4. But I still think, again, anything above a field goal to me, I think the game can go either way. I'll take the 4 points in a game that I think is really 50-50.
Penn State, Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. How you feeling?
You know, it's funny, Anthony. I bet Penn State at the opening getting 4. Okay, because I thought the line should have been like close between 3 and 3.5. And then I just bet Oregon -3, giving myself basically, okay, if it lands on 3 or 4, I win. If not, I lose a little bit of juice. That's how I handled it because I'm like, the more I thought about the game, initially I was Penn State, but the more I just don't know if I trust this Penn State defense, Anthony. I always like Penn State growing up, but
the other problem with them is like you're so reliant on Warren. I love Warren; he's a great player.
Warren's great,
but when your tight end's your best player, your biggest threat, that's tough, man. Because you can't, you lack explosiveness.
You lack explosiveness, and
Aller's got a big arm, man. I mean, that's the one shame is that they didn't find that other receiver for him.
I think the over-under may be a little low here, Anthony. I think both teams are gonna be able to score. That's kind of my gut at this point. I think when I look on it's Oh, it's actually gone up. It's up to 50. It was 49 when we spoke and we did our show. So it's gone up a point. Justifiably so, in my opinion, because I do think there will be points scored here. Look, anything over a field goal, slightest to slight leans to Penn State, but I just don't have enough confidence in their defense the more I think about the game.
All right, real quick. We got our man Mikey Garafolo coming up next. Looking forward to that. Brain, what are you thinking, man? Give us kind of the quick hitters that you like elsewhere in the NFL this weekend. And, of course, if you have any of your association selections.
I'll give you a couple of real quick, 3 props real quick. Giannis over 5.5 assists, Anthony. 43 and 30 last year, averaged 6.5. 12 and 7 this year, averaging 6.5. So they made it 5.5. I'll take over 6.5. It's off 1. Brooke Lopez, also in that same game, over 9.5 points. 13 and 8 this year, averaging 12. 61 and 24 last year, averaging 13. It shouldn't be 9.5. Take over 9.5. And Jalen Johnson, really good young player for the Atlanta Hawks. I like Jalen
Johnson. Yeah.
Over 8.5 rebounds. He's 16 and 6, averaging 10 rebounds a game. It's 1 rebound too short. When we look at the NFL lines, Anthony, didn't love this week's NFL card at all. I like Arizona to beat Seattle. The line right now should be 2.5. I'm looking at the park. Yeah, it's 2.5. I do like Arizona to get home there. I like the Chargers against the Chiefs in a game that maybe I'm just stubborn here, Anthony. I think it's a 50-50 game, and I'll take the 4 points. And I think the Bears, Anthony, are going to beat the 49ers, believe it or not, let alone getting the 4. I think the 49ers are just, I don't know. I
hear you. I don't know how. I feel bad for them, man. Like, they just got crushed.
Yeah, it's not for you.
I mean, you're down, you lose McCaffrey early, then you lose Mason, you're down to Garendo, who I actually like a little bit, but
I actually know I try to get him in every one of my fantasy leagues. It's funny, Anthony. A guy was one of my high stakes fantasy leagues. The guy was 1 and 12. I had the second most fab money. Elite. I needed this guy for blood. I needed Garendo. I had the second most fab money. This guy was 1 and 12. He just bid to be the most money on him. 1 and 12, and I sent the guy. Did I do something to you in a prior life? But yeah, I needed Garendo.
That's a violation. That's a violation.
That's a good question. Is that a violation?
Yeah.
Or is it you say, you're playing it out, you owe it to the rest of the league?
Yeah.
It's a good debate.
To deny you. Yeah, no, I feel you. Right. He's a winner. Guy's a winner. Brain, have a great weekend, my brother. Good luck to you.
Appreciate you guys. Be good.
There he is, the Brain. All right.
Quinnipiac tonight, just for the trash fans tonight.
Oh, Quinnipiac, huh?
-1 versus Ryder.
Against Ryder.
Yeah, at Ryder.
There he is, trash man pick. All right, my brother. Let's talk about some of our friends, and then we go to Mikey G like we do every Friday.
Cool. True Mark. Our friends over at True Mark. We've been telling you about this great program. They got the Greenlight program. If you've got kids, pay attention because you want your kids to be fiscally responsible, understand how to earn money and save money. So True Mark has the ultimate playbook for teaching financial responsibility, and it's a free Greenlight account. It comes with a Greenlight app, and it's changing the game, helping kids and teens learn how to earn, save, and spend wisely. You can set up saving goals, you can track their spending, and even give them an allowance all right there within the app. And the super cool part is the kids get their own debit card, which you are in control of, so they can't go bonkers, but they can make purchases and learn real-world money skills. You get a peace of mind. They get the freedom to make smart decisions with their money. And it's like coaching your kid through their very own financial game. And for True Mark Financial members, it's free. How good is that? With the holidays right around the corner, now's the perfect time to introduce your kids to this great Greenlight program. You can get signed up today. Visit truemark.com/greenlight for more information.
All right, let's talk about. Actually, my man just got back to us, Jack. So he's good. So send him a link. Because listen, Bonner Prendy won last night. All right.
Champs.
This is the 3 days of titles for Southeastern Pennsylvania high schools, our schools.
Yeah, we're going to run it.
All right. Bonner Prendy last night, big victory.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. Who's tonight?
Roman tonight.
Tonight's Roman, thank you. And then tomorrow night, of course, is the prep. The dynamic squad that they are. All right, let's talk about the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. That's what's going on right now. Every Friday at noon, so in a couple hours, they're going to do this thing called double the spread. So they're going to pick a game, and then they're going to double it for the underdog. So you'll get an underdog game plus the points, like double the points. and it hits every week. Last week, it was the Eagles. They doubled it from 3 to 6 against the Ravens.
Love it.
Really, really good. Double the spread. You got to check it out. It's a great offer for all BetParks users. Don't forget, you can always bet more than the score, right? But you have all the props you want. Touchdowns, passing yards, rushing yards, you name it, all right? Make a note. The BetParks Sportsbook app lets you double the spread every weekend, man. All right? BetParks.com says terms and conditions. Double the spread. And there's always another way to win on the BetParks app. You got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. This portion of the program is brought to you by Rite Aid. Go to riteaid.com for the pharmacy nearest you, your neighborhood pharmacy, Rite Aid. Now joining us, we love him, man. Hometown hero, South Philadelphia's own. He is the voice when it comes to the NFL. All right? I get all my news from him. Yeah, you should too. He's the best. Mike Garafolo from the NFL Network. Michael, good morning.
What's happening, cuz? How you doing, man?
Good, buddy. Where are you on the road to?
Little town called Philadelphia. Gonna head down there for locker room today. I got the game on Sunday, so I'm headed down for locker room today. Yeah.
I love it. You love coming home, brother. Isn't it like a little treat for you? Is mom gonna make you dinner?
Huh? No. This is gonna be in and out. I'm gonna hit the locker room, turn around, and come right back because we got my daughter's birthday. We got the breakfast with Santa. This is like
okay.
I got my daughter and my wife's birthday 4 days apart. Christmas, NFL, December can you know what?
Yeah, I feel you, buddy.
Talk to me in January. I'll be a normal human again in January.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. Yeah, you don't even have time to stop for chicken cutlets.
No, there's a no cutlet trip, man.
All right, let's talk about last night because it was a fascinating game last night. And of course, the talk is Campbell, right? Like Dan Campbell going for fourth down, going for it. Instead of kicking a field goal in that spot, risking, and you saw, right, Goff got stepped on and, stumbled, handed the ball off. You like that move?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was texting you because I was listening to your conversation with Brain there. And if you didn't like the defense. Okay, cool. Yeah. If you didn't like the defense, to me, then you go for it because you don't want your defense back on the field. Basically, is what you're doing right there. You don't want to give them a chance at all. I would have kicked the field goal. To me, it's I don't know 60-40. Now go back to when I don't think if you're Dan Campbell and you're trying to be Mr. Aggressive and we're not scared of anything or anybody and all this stuff, like you can't be that way all the time. Go back to the NFC Championship game. I was a horrendous.
I agree with you. Yes,
management.
Yes.
But that was a different scenario because they were up 17 at halftime. If I'm recalling correctly, I don't have everything in front of me. They're up 17 at halftime. San Francisco cuts it to 14. They kick a field goal, right?
Yes. Want to bring it back?
Yeah, I'll bring it back full.
We're charging $2.65 to gas.
No, I'll bring it back full. Let's go good. Yeah. Sorry, get my rental car here. Right?
That's all right.
At that
basically,
point, to me,
he could if he kicks the field goal, he's up 3 scores, and he doesn't kick the field goal.
Yeah, but you're also like they halfway through the third quarter are exactly where they were at halftime.
Yeah.
Whereas you miss the field goal and they go, okay, we made up 3 points. Like we're chipping away here. To me that was where you gotta have a better awareness of things. Last night I didn't hate it. It was like 4th and inches, right? I didn't hate it. I would have kicked the field goal, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I kind of hated it in the sense that it's just unnecessary risk. Like I get you want to bleed the clock out, but it wasn't like there was a minute and a half. I mean, it would have been somewhere around 36, 38 seconds, and they got no timeouts. I know your defense is banged up in a big way, but I mean, I'd still rather have that than if I don't get it. Now they have a chance to win the game, right? It's almost the same scenario, and they're going to take over.
Yeah, I know. It was again. I go field goal. They got no timeouts. Make them. a pass out of bounds or a big chunk play, get up to the line, spike it, all that stuff, and go through all that. Yeah, I would have gone that route, but I can't, the easiest thing for all of us to do, and I guess you're not taking the easy route, and the people that are still second guessing are not taking the easy route. The easiest way is well, let's see how it goes. I would have gone to me, as I'm watching the game, I go, Dan, kick it, well, okay. Yeah, I see what you are. All right, good luck, and then he trips. And you're like, well, you opened yourself up to that.
Right.
Because that was, I remember the Eagles game against the Falcons earlier in the year. I know, of course you do. Ball goes in the air. It's 9 times out of 10 complete the pass, but it bounces off of Saquon. Atlanta gets the ball back.
Yeah.
Okay. If they complete that, oh man, what a great call.
Yes.
But when you do that, you open yourself up to things happening, right? And you could say, all right, they kick the field goal, they might botch the snap, but at some point you got to put points on the board. There are risks you have to take. Then there are ones that you don't have to take. That was one they didn't have to take. But again, I just can't bring myself to really what the hell is this guy doing?
Well, right. You know what? Listen, I get it. He's big stones, Dan. Fourth down. They're gutsy calls at the 1 yard line right before halftime. You go for the 7, don't take the 3. That's a big call, right? The one that I didn't agree with is, fourth down. It's 4th and 1.5, and you're at your own 30-yard line. I didn't get that.
You're up 3 at the time, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember where they were in that game. Yeah, yes. I hated that one. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys going for it on 4th and 1 twice back in 95, 96, whatever year that was.
Right.
Showed you that, it's just you're opening yourself up to that kind of stuff in that unnecessary situation. I didn't mind, hey, let's close it. You know what a big thing is, these coaches, and Jared Goff has said this to me too as well. Josh Allen's a big proponent of this. We want to finish the game with the ball in our hands.
Yeah.
And that they love that. They love that. When we finish the game, whether it's 4-minute offense, they're up, or in a situation like that where, hey, we don't even give them the ball back. They love to do that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of stuff you practice all the way back in training camp. You want to execute on it. They did last night. Tip of the cap. Now look, overall, because I'm now looking at this as, all right, we're starting to weed out the pretenders. Now it's, hey, is this a 1 seed going to the Super Bowl? No doubt about it, team? Absolutely not. No question in my mind. This is not. They're a good team. They're a really good team. And if they can get healthy and they can fill in some pieces, as they're trying to do right now on the defensive side of the ball, And it looks like at this point, I did it last night. I was trying to figure out, if the Eagles win Sunday against the Panthers, and then Detroit loses next week. The problem is that's an AFC game. Right. So that doesn't help the Eagles with the tiebreaker with the conference record.
So they still finish with a better record than they
so
can't tie.
They're going to need an NFC. Yeah, they're going to need an NFC loss down the road. Now, the loss next week would help you because you'd pull in even an overall record, but you're still going to need an NFC loss. So you're still going to potentially have to go there. But this Eagles team down there in Baltimore, covering them in that environment, down 9-0 early. Nothing going right. That was a weird game. It was like first and third quarter were all Ravens. Everything else was all Eagles. It was kind of that up and down type game. I like their poise. I love the way that they stay calm. I think that's got a number of factors why they're able to do that, but that's the kind of stuff you need to be able to do in the playoffs, especially if you got to go on the road in Detroit. So if you're asking me who's representing the NFC right now, I got to go Eagles.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm so excited over their defense, man. How well do you get to know Fangio?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. He's been in places that he's been, Denver, Chicago, not teams that I cover very closely. And I haven't really had a chance to talk to him much since he's been here. But, they wanted him badly for 2 years for a reason, and you're seeing it now.
I gotta tell you, I've never been a huge fan of that scheme, right? Listen, I understand it. It's an analytic friendly scheme, right? Keep everything in front of you, let them matriculate down the field, force offenses to execute properly. But when it's done by him, and because he's a really good caller, he calls a really good game, and they have that talent in the back end and up front with Carter, man, it's that defense is nasty, man. They're the best defense in football. I keep looking around and I go, I think the Eagles are the best defense. There's a couple teams I like, right? Like Minnesota's pretty good. You go to San Diego, or the Chargers are pretty good. But that Eagles defense to me is the best in football.
Yeah, and I see, and I've asked this too, because you hire Sean Desai, and there's other guys who run the Fangio type scheme, and it's not as effective. And it's really about the finer details, really, because you're not exotic, you're not Brian Flores, you're not the old Jim Johnson blitz scheme and Spags and all these other things. So it's really about the finer details and how the front is matching with the back end, and he understands it that well. It's not a the Sean McVay Shanahan the tree, right? It's not necessarily that where we got to bring the scheme here. It's the understanding of the scheme. And look, he was hard on Bryce Huff early on and on a lot of these guys. And I saw the quote the other day about practice, and you get he's a good fine tuner, and his staff is filled with a bunch of good fine tuners. I hear great things about Joe Casper on the back end coaching those guys up. They're doing a really good job from a coaching standpoint, and I think that's the biggest thing when I look at this team right now is their ability to kind of make sure everything and everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, I love the kids, man. I mean, we had Cooper on the other day. DeGene is ridiculous, so is Mitchell, Carter. I mean, the thing that's scary and the great job that Howie's done is they're young. Like, this defense is young, man, and it's really, really good. Like, they have unlocked something that's going to just assure that they're going to be a contender for years.
Well, he does a great job of and with the first round picks. He never seems to be drafted for need. It's always a year ahead. He's drafting defensive tackles when he's got Fletcher Cox and these guys dominating up front. And it's like, okay, when these guys are gone, we're ready. They're going to hit the ground running. It's not like we got to rely on a bunch of rookies. They're veterans that understand how things work. And I think they've done a good job with Jalen Carter and working through with Jordan Davis to understand what the mentality has to be at this level to be successful. And they've unlocked that. And you give a credit to all the coaches and the Fangio for getting them to play on that level consistently. That's what you're seeing right now from Jalen Carter. You're going to be a dominant defensive tackle. These pass rushers on the edge, and I'm generalizing it, but the pass rushers on the edge. And I remember talking to OCU Manura years ago about this with the Giants. He's like, sometimes I'll have a 3-sack game, and you guys think I had a great game, and I was terrible for the other 40 snaps that I was on the field. Or I'll have a no-sack game, but I was great, and you guys are like, where's OC today? So a lot of times these pass rushers on the edge, they can come through and they can disrupt the game with a couple plays here and there. If you want to be a dominant defensive tackle, you've got to show up the entire games, and some of the better ones you're seeing that. And you're seeing that from Carter.
Dude, that kid's playing every snap too. It's unbelievable, his snap count.
Yeah. And any questions about work ethic and all this kind of stuff may have been bubbling up year one, but you're not hearing it right now with regard to Jalen Carter at all.
Man, I know. It's just incredibly impressive. Hey, does how we are? Everybody has. There's always each week. There's always something to discuss becomes a talking point or a worry point. And now I love where the Eagles' offense is. To be honest with you, they embraced who they were, a downhill run team. Hurts is playing point guard, which I like. Like, it's 3rd and 4. You need to get a first down. He runs for 5 yards, right? Like, the RPO and the RPO play action. Give him the one read. It works. Boom, ball's out. Whatever. Do you share any concern that the pass game is not as pronounced?
No, because I was on the field on Sunday pregame. I won't say who, but a football person that I truly respect the opinion. And we were marveling at the fact that Jalen Hurts has been as successful as he's been without being that quarterback that can really make you work. You know, I'm watching Hard Knocks the other day, and Mike Tomlin is talking about defending Joe Burrow, and which was interesting. If you didn't see that, if you didn't see Hard Knocks, you got to watch it. Okay,
I haven't seen it yet.
Hard Knocks started out as a training camp show.
Oh yeah, no, the in-season show's awesome.
And it was great early on. The Jets, the Jets one was great. The Browns one was great. Outside of that, in recent years, has there been a Hard Knocks story about no, there hasn't been. Okay, but the offseason with the Giants was terrific. Okay, not for the Giants' sake at this point, but it was terrific to watch all that. And the in-season now, I thought adding, they did 4 teams with the division. I was like, that's too many. This thing's going to be like, your head's going to be spinning all over. And they did a great job of showing you enough, going place to place. They were showing Pittsburgh was playing Cincinnati, so they were like, here we are in Pittsburgh. And in Pittsburgh, they're saying, right now in Cincinnati, they're saying we got to stop George Pickens. And then they cut to Cincinnati and they go, right now in Pittsburgh, they're saying we got to stop Jamar Chase. I compared it the other day to like a Rocky Drago montage before the fight where you're seeing both guys prepare for the fight. It was phenomenal. Anyway, long way of me saying Tomlin let them into the game plan room where he's sitting with Terrell Austin and the defensive guys. And they've played Joe Burrow a bunch, but he was, and I don't know if it was for the cameras, I assume not, but it was like was playing him for the first time. It was like, oh my God, look at this guy. Oh no, and look at the way he climbs the pocket. And oh man, we got to do this. He's going to eat us up and blah, blah, blah. We got to show him something and we got to change it to this at the snap and blah. Anyway, I don't get the sense that defensive coordinators prepare that way for Jalen Hurts. He's not that kind of guy. Right. But yet he's been incredibly successful. Yep. I don't sit here right now and go, well, they got to figure out a long-term plan because this guy ain't it. I don't come up with that at all. And it's just his style of play that we've seen in other guys where we go, well, that's not going to work in the NFL. For some reason, works for him in the NFL. It's kind of a marvel to me. It reminds you, like, he's like Drew Holiday, right? He's a point guard. You're going to lose me on this one, but go ahead. Like, he's a point guard. Like, he plays the position like a point guard. And, like, he does exactly what kind of you need him to do, right? Which is protect the ball. Like, he's not going to be, Jaylen Brown, all right? Like, who's going to go for 30. Like, you got to work. Like, he's a guy that's going to kind of do what you got to do. I mean, I think that's his greatest gift. And again, 3rd and 4, knowing that he can read it and take off and go get it, go get the first down. That's what you need. I mean, I think his greatest gift is his poise. And it's just from start to finish with that guy. You just never see him, whether it's off the field or on the field, you never see him come unraveled at all. And usually a lot of times when we're talking about what we're talking about, hey, look, he's not going to go 1 to 4 and, force the safety to be spinning like a top back there. He sees it. He knows how to attack. He understands it all. But it's like 1 to 2, and if I gotta go, I gotta go, or But a lot of times when you get that, it comes with a mistake. It comes with the crucial interception. He avoids that, So I think he does a really good job of knowing what he is, what they're trying to do, and what hurts defenses really. Yeah, I'm with you, my brother. Listen, have a safe trip down here. All right, happy birthday to your angel. Thank you. Yeah, she turns 4. All right. You may think she's an angel, but holy God, she was the devil this morning, bro. Yeah. Yeah. The Jersey devil. She was on the floor, and I very rarely have to go to team facilities anymore, but I had to go this morning. And she pulled a very rare she does this, but she pulled a I don't want to go to school today. Oh, bro, I'm carrying her, fireman's carrying her down the block. Yeah, she's screaming her head off. But guess what? What would our parents have done? You're going to school. Oh, yeah, not even close. Yeah, without a doubt. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. Right on. I love it. Good stuff, brother. We love you, buddy. All right, boys. See you, brother. Enjoy your Quinnipiac today. I heard that one.
Go Flyers.
Go Flyers. That's right. That's the great Mike Garafolo. I had an issue this morning. Massimo. So Massimo woke up last night, he had nosebleed at like 2 a.m.
Is that a common
or
thing
like
with kids?
1:30? Yeah, he's got the
dry air.
heater, the dry air.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it was like 1:30. Come, Daddy, So I was up because I was writing.
Mm-hmm.
So then he wound up. I get him situated. He goes back up, and then I hear him, and he comes back down, and he's like, "I want to stay down here with you." I said, "Come on, we'll both go. You can sleep with us. We'll both go to bed." And then he didn't want to wake up this morning. I had to drive to school because my wife took Anthony to St. Augustine, so I had to take Mons to school. So we were doing
Dad
this thing.
duties.
Yeah, listen, Daddy, I love you.
stuff him
That
like-
makes you just.
You do it like
No.
a boxer trainer. You jam a bunch of cotton up his nose.
Yeah,
When it's bleeding?
No, yeah, like just the paper towel. I turn the paper towel up, jam him up his nose.
Yeah.
That thing. All right, lots to do. We got our man, Dr. Steven Stash, coming up in a minute from Rothman as our Friday injury report that we love to do.
Yeah.
The ankle. We focus on the ankle this week.
The ankle.
That's it. Tell us about what you got, buddy. You got a little.
We're doing Empire today. Talk about our
Empire,
friends over
yeah.
at Empire. Friends, we got so many friends helping us out with household stuff, and Empire is another one. Empire today, you get a shop at home convenience. They got the right product for your needs. Quick professional installation and a price match guarantee for all their flooring. It is the best place to get new flooring. So, of course, there's copycats out there. They might have a better price, but it's not the same quality product. Empire today, they won't promise you to beat those lowest prices because those guys, their competitors, are going to install pretty much garbage in your house. Empire has high quality stuff, and they'll back it up with a nice guarantee. So they have this virtual floor designer, which is pretty cool. You take a picture of your house, pick out a couple flooring options
That's
that you
cool.
like, and they'll mock it up for you. You can see what it looks like in there. Nice and easy. You can schedule a free in-home estimate today. And check this out. Who doesn't want to save $350? All listeners receive $350 off when they use the PHLY promo. Restrictions apply, but see Empire Today/PHLY for more details.
I like it.
Empire
Today. Hey, let's talk about Parks Casino, Street Road Bend, Salem. How about giving the gift of headline entertainment this holiday season? Yes, you could purchase gift cards for concerts, comedy, and much more. All those events at the Excite Center that we talk about. That's right. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Tickets are on sale right now for these headliners. Oh, look at this. Just announced.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
We need a heads up with this.
SNL's Colin Jost returns for 2 nights at Parks Casino on March 14th and March 15th.
Hey, Scarlett, you look great today.
Plus, country artist Cole Swindell on February 7th.
Yeah, we're going to have to look one of them up.
Lost my job today. Darn broke for the weekend.
Those Parks Casino gift cards for the holidays right now, January 18th. The reggae sounds of Shaggy.
But you cut me on the counter.
Closer than my peeps you are to me.
January 24th,
Baby.
actor Richard Kind from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Whoa, Larry. Whoa.
February 8th, Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains.
I'm the man in a box.
March 8th, magician Michael Carbonaro.
Hey, where'd that car go? It's just right there in front
March
of my face.
21st, comedian Ron White.
Can't fix stupid.
March 22nd, country star Lee Bryce.
There's a rumor going round.
ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. Parks Casino. This is how you win. You got to be 21. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, every Friday is our Friday injury report. And
Poor doctor's got to hear us sing.
that's it. We love our Rothman docs. They're the
Love
best. They have a
Rothman.
team for every body part. Dr. Stash is a non-operative sports medicine physician, and he's the division chief for non-operative sports medicine at Rothman Orthopedics. He's our man. Dr. Stash, good morning.
Good morning.
How are
I don't
you,
need
buddy?
to go see those shows. I can just listen to you guys sing them online.
Doc's got strong glasses. Nice glass game.
I was about to say the
Thank
same
you.
thing.
Yeah.
I like those glasses.
Yeah,
Doc.
nice frames.
Appreciate that.
What's your sport, Doc? What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport, I played college football, so I would say that's mine.
Oh, he's a leatherhead.
Who'd you play for?
Johns Hopkins.
Nice. That's all. What position?
Fullback. Going back. I'm wearing the glasses because my eyes are messed up from getting hit in the head so much. So but you could trust me as a physician. I promise you.
Listen, any doctor who played fullback, I'm going to him first. All right, I go to you first, brother. That's awesome. And at Johns Hopkins, man, that's great.
Smart guys down there.
God bless you, buddy. Let's talk ankles, shall we? In fact, Jordan Mason, we just saw the ankle, man. We have not touched on the ankle, right? So what like causes an ankle injury to persist, right? Like what is one that's that lingering ankle thing?
Yeah, ankles are tough because you got a lot of bones in the middle of the ankle that then connect with the bones of the foot, right? So when you have a lot of bones, you got a lot of ligaments, and there's a lot of different ways that the ankle can move. For those of you who can see, I got a model here. All these little bands here, all the little ligaments. I'm prepared, yeah. And so, when it comes to all these little bones being held together in the movement, you roll this way, you injure that ligament, you roll that way, you injure that ligament. And so it's like an additive effect, and then it's all about the forces, right? So the traditional ankle sprain is kind of when your foot rolls in, well, outside of your ankle goes out. So like one of these.
Like playing basketball.
Yeah, exactly. You went up for the rebound, you landed on the other guy's foot. And those can be pretty severe. We grade them on a scale. So, the higher the grade, the longer it's going to take. But generally, they have a pretty normal trajectory where we can understand that you're going to recover. The opposite, which is what happened in our snake bit San Francisco guy, is the internal rotation or the high ankle sprain where the foot rolls in. And those by or the high ankle sprain, they take longer. It's a much more challenging injury because it destabilizes not only the ankle ligaments, but also the ligament between the tibia and the fibula, which can then really cause problems with stability.
So, I had a stupid accident, right? So my kids were playing at Ripken. My kid plays 11U travel baseball, right? So we were at Ripken, and it's a beautiful facility. It was really cool. They have all these fields set up. Looks like Camden Yards. There's a Citizens Bank Park. But there was a part where they have picnic tables and concession stands, and there were rocks, and then there was a curb. And you couldn't tell where the curb, that there was a curb there. So, of course, I'm going, and I roll my ankle and fall to the ground. That thing, obviously there was swelling, but it turned red and blue, like from the middle of my ankle through the top of my foot was like nasty, man. It was like purple and red. And what happens? Is that just the blood? Is it what is that? Yeah.
Yeah, so ligaments have a blood supply and then all the surrounding tissues. So when you damage them, simply even stretching, they're going to bleed. And so, like significant ankle sprains tend to have a lot of bruising, and then people get nervous because gravity pulls it down to their toes and they think something's wrong with their toes, and it turns a bunch of different colors. But yeah, they can look pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. I wore it as a badge of honor.
Yeah,
I might have the picture. I'm going to look for it.
Oh, I said it to Andrew. I said it to Andrew. I go, dude, look at my ankle, man. Oh my God. But it's one thing if you're playing ball. I'm just being dad and roll my ankle. That's not cool. All right?
Yeah, I mean, we see people in the office every day with, it's a super common injury. Like, I rolled mine in the park running and trying to avoid a dog,
Yeah, exactly. It's weird because, stupid things like you don't see a rock or you don't see a curb or something. And just that little kind of instability in your footing could force your ankle to turn.
So then you translate that to NFL and, high-speed game, plant cutting. There's been a lot of talk about differences in surfaces, really common injury.
What is the duration of the recovery time?
If for lateral ankle sprains, usually you can kind of project it, on the grades, grade 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then kind of up from there. Good grade 3 ankle sprain with a severe kind of full tear, you're looking at a good, 8, 10 weeks before you can really kind of get back. Now, obviously, guys in the NFL, they have access to resources that the average person doesn't, so that often expedites the recovery. The high ankle sprain, there's some trends now where there's procedures being done to try to expedite the recovery there. One of the things that's pretty cool that they're doing is if it's a really bad ankle sprain, and I have no idea what they're doing for Mason, but they basically drill a hole and run this stirrup through to tighten it down and hold the bones together. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's basically recently, yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, so it's all about returning that stability to allow the ankle to start to recover.
Huh. That's fascinating. When does it become a real issue like a Liz Frank when you suffer?
Great question. And this is another really devastating injury that happens a lot to NFL linemen. That's actually further down in the foot between the bones. And so there's this really critical ligament, the Liz Frank ligament, that's deep in there. And if you fall on a flexed foot, this is harder than you think to line up with this camera here, where the foot flexes and then it separates the bones and it creates instability in the foot. And so every time your foot steps down, you feel like your toes are splaying apart with a lot of pain. And that's typically something that needs to be treated a little bit more aggressively, and surgery is often considered in high-level athletes.
Oh, Doc, you're amazing, man. God bless you. You're fan. We love visiting with our Rothman docs every week, man. You have the picture? This is what it looked like.
Good one.
It's a nice ankle.
Yeah.
I was like, you believe it?
It's a badge of honor for sure. Yeah, I give that to you.
Doc, you're the best, brother. Listen, happy holidays to you. All right,
yeah,
happy New Year.
Merry
God
Christmas
bless you and your family, man.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks, buddy. Dr. Stash, man, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I like. Also,
like the props, man.
Yeah, I like a guy who leans non-operative too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I told you, that's why I trust Rothman. They're amazing. My Achilles, again, using nitro packs.
Yeah.
Right. They usually use for people for their heart.
Mm-hmm.
They put it on my Achilles tendon to stimulate blood flow there because it's not a high blood supply area, and it worked.
Yeah,
it's truly amazing.
I'm a big visual learner, so I was really glad that he had that
the props,
the prop, because it really showed me what the injury was and how you can get it.
Yeah, I thought that was really. I thought that was cool, man. I like that stuff. Hey, do we have coach? All right, we're gonna have Temple coach Adam Fisher is going to join us coming up momentarily because we got a big. You're a huge college basketball guy. We love it. Tomorrow at Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah, Big Five action.
I love the Big Five.
Yeah, I mean,
we're like old heads. We love it.
I was there last year for
Were you?
It was so much fun. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I need to bring this up too before one more thing on the football game last night. This is incredible. In fact, our man Pat McClune, thanks to Pat, he said this over. Last night, I don't know if you saw, Terrion Arnold got a PI in the end zone last night. And he did. It was horrible. He played it so awkwardly. He, of course, was the top corner. Everybody thought he was the top corner coming out from Alabama. And what happened? He committed his 7th pass interference penalty, which leads the league.
Yep.
You know how many Q has?
0.
Correct. Quignon, 0 flags. How about the year? I mean, seriously, he doesn't have a freaking flag on him. He's playing that well.
He doesn't have a flag. He doesn't have a touchdown. He doesn't have a lot of things on him. It's outrageous.
Dude, he may be one of the greatest rookie cornerback seasons we've ever seen.
I would agree with that, man. It's hard to find a better one.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. Here it comes.
I mean, seriously, in fact, they just don't throw on him.
No.
He's been under the radar, dude. Quignon does not get enough love nationally.
No, because like you said, I mean, he's on the radar of every coaching staff, and so they just don't throw to him. So he is. I mean, he's on certain radars, but on the media
I need
radar.
to get an OC on to talk about him, just about what kind of year he's having, dude. In fact, I just don't think he gets enough appreciation.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, he's still not even the odds-on favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Jared Verse is right now.
How?
Exactly. Well, because he plays a defensive end, and it's about a sack, and
Look at the
it's numbers they can understand it, right? You can quantify it by numbers. That's the problem. You wonder why I hate stats, especially in football. It's because they're bogus. They lie.
Yeah.
And they don't. It's not a truth teller. Like when you look at football and you look at stats, like how do you quantify how great Quinyon Mitchell's playing?
You can't. Not if you're looking at stats.
No, you got to watch the film.
You got to watch the film.
It's why they're all pass deflections.
Playing like a 5-year vet.
Like they're making it. Like that's amazing. They're making a stick because they'll have an interception.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me?
He's going to get one this week.
Maybe he does or doesn't. Honestly, who cares?
He's going to get 2.
First of all, they don't test them enough to warrant, racking up.
They're afraid of him.
INTs. Correct.
Jaden Daniels was afraid of him.
If you're a great corner. Wow. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm waiting for shards of metal to go flying out of that thing.
I was talking to the audience, not you. I know you heard it.
Yeah.
So that's our heating duct?
That's the HVAC system in here.
Where is Casper when you need him to get in here and fix our HVAC?
The motor is definitely seizing up, and it sounds like someone's shooting an AK in here.
Yeah. Joey almost jumped out of his seat.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. You hear noises everywhere in this building. It's probably part haunted and part the age-old equipment, right? The half and half.
Like I say, I'm looking on Game Time app. You can get lower level seat for 3 of these Big 5 games on Game Time for $50.
This is an incredible thing, man. It is.
Row 3,
and
$96.
It's Philadelphia, right? It's the Big 5. Yeah. We got my man. I'm a Temple man, and joining us, Temple men's coach Adam Fisher. Coach, what do you say, brother?
Man, it's great to be with this. You guys are Philly legends, so this is great to be with you this morning, man. This is awesome.
Well, I love that. Like, what's happening tomorrow is such a cool thing. We play Villanova, right? It's Temple Villanova to start Penn Drexel and then Joe's LaSalle. I mean, come on. And the beauty of it, Coach, $30, you get 3 games at Wells Fargo tomorrow.
Can't beat it. There's nothing better, man. Grew up watching the Big 5. Like, I know it's not at the Palestra. I get it. But last year, the environment was awesome. It was like an NCAA tournament, having all 6 schools. The fan bases, our section sold out, which was awesome. It's great energy. It is. It's look, man, when you like Philadelphia sports and you love the Big 5, you just go. You just want to be a junkie that day and watch all the teams. So we're excited. We're excited for the opportunity we have tomorrow.
You know what the best is about you? You have a great Philadelphia accent.
with a Miami number. I got a 786 phone number, so I'm glad I didn't get
it doesn't. You have that great accent. You do. There's no lying. There's no denying that you're a Philly kid. What's this been like, man? Take us through your journey, right? Like, here you are.
Well, I can't claim Philly kid, though. I can't because when I was at Miami, I said I was from Philly. And it was like, cool, you're from Philly. Then I went to Penn State. It's like, oh, I'm from Philly. Great. Then I got here and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm from Philly. They're like, yo, stop. You from the suburbs. All right, chill. You from Bucks County. That's not Philly.
Hear it all the time.
I'm very careful now, right? I'm from Jamison, Pennsylvania, outside the city. That's what I say.
Philly Metro.
I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe in that. That's not fair.
Yeah, I'm one of those police.
I know you are. You're a police dog like Mr. Bike Chain. That's Greg.
The LaSalle guy. What do you expect? The LaSalle guy. Of course he's got it. You know what I mean? But no, it's been an unbelievable journey to be able to come back home. You know, I grew up watching Coach Chaney teams, Coach Duffy teams, right? You watch Aaron McKee and all the greats play here. To be back in this city, I haven't been this close to home since high school. So it has been an amazing experience. My wife is from Bucks County too, so we've got everybody here. Every freaking family member you could imagine is calling for tickets, and it's awesome. I love it. I love their support. You know, they followed me when I was a manager, to a GA, to a video coordinator, to every other damn title you could come up with in college basketball. But this journey is awesome, and I've been around some amazing people, and I'm so grateful for them, because I don't know if you're ever prepared to be a head coach.
Right.
Like, there's no like class or manual. Here you go. Here, you know what I mean? So I think it's the people you're around. When you get to be around a Jay Wright when you're 22 years old, and you just write down everything he says because you think he's the greatest thing in the world. I'm like, oh my God, Coach Wright said this. This is like, he told me when I was 23 years old, if you want to be a good recruiter, don't golf. Don't golf because you can't have your phone. So at 23, I was like, I'm never going to golf. To this day, I've never golfed because Coach Wright said that to me. And I was driving him to a golf outing. Like, that's how much I looked at him. I'm like, this dude's a genius. So being around guys like him, Coach Larinaga.
You know what's real quick? You know what's amazing is that you sound, now you're both from Bucks County, right? But you guys sound alike. If you close your eyes, I'm pretty good with voices, and knowing Jay really well, and I love him. You guys have that same sound. It's pretty interesting, really. And
He's
you
got
probably
about
took some of his
700 more wins
mannerisms
and
too.
some 3 national championships, whatever it is more. But I like it. I like it.
That's right. That's a compliment, brother. You kidding me?
But no, it's been great. You know, year 2 here. You know, I'm excited. I think this is a players program. And I think this place is so special. It's because of all the fun. We're coming up on 2,000 wins, and I've had about as little to do with those 2,000 as possible. So I'm grateful for all the teams. Like when I got the job, you know, you meet with as many people, right? I met with John Chaney's son. It was awesome. I had him speak to the team last year. Like, that's what this program's about.
Dude,
like,
I miss him. Coach,
great.
I miss him. So I'm a student at Temple, and, you know, this is years ago. I was writing a story, and I asked him, I'm like, can I go to practice with you? And he's like, hey, yeah, you sure, Anthony? And he's like, but you got to be at 5. You got to be earlier than them, right? Because, you know, he would do this legendary 5 a.m. So I'm outside, and I was, make sure I was on time and all. And, like, just watching him, what'd you learn? What'd you learn, Anthony? Like, he was the greatest. And then we would let's go to 9th Street, get George's, and then, you know, he'd buy you a tie. I mean, he was such an incredible man. And learning about the matchup zone, I was so enamored, Coach, by how that zone, man, like, and that made it such a presence. And I'm so happy that you appreciate, you know, the history of it. Like, you understand it. And I think that's vital for the program, to keep that link from the past through the future. That's how you build greatness.
No, you have to. When you're at a place that's about to win 2,000, be the 6th team ever, like, you have to go back to that. Harry Litwack's daughters, when I got the job, called me, can we meet? Absolutely. No matter what I had on my schedule. Come on. Like, you got 2 Hall of Famers. Fran Duffy, a 3rd Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, Aaron McKee, Hall of Fame player, like one of the best ever. So, you know, I'm just steering the ship right now. I'm grateful to be a part of it, but our players need to understand the history. And, you know, we have some legacy guys on our team, right? Lynn Greer, the 3rd. So he understands it. We have Dylan Battie, who's a freshman, whose dad, obviously, Derek played here. So the more guys that you can understand what this program is, you know, somebody told me back in the day, when you become a head coach, no matter how great you are, if you go to a school that's never won, it's going to be really hard that you're that guy. They've gone 70, 80 years with 1 or 2 tournament appearances. Like, this place, I mean, it's already set. I told our guys, we don't have to build the history here. The history's set. Our job is to continue this legacy. And that's what we talk about all the time. We're team 129. This is our opportunity. We get one shot at this, right? This team will never be back together again, especially in today's crazy college athletic world. So with seniors, transfer portal, you get one shot at this, man. And you got to, you know, I joke all the time. We go to other arenas in our league, and this is not to be disrespectful at all. It's just what you prioritize. You know, we went to Rice, and you look up in the banners, and they have like Nobel Peace Prize banners in the gym. And I'm like, damn, there's some smart people that win here. I look up in our gym, I'm like, Elite 8, Sweet 16, Elite 8. Like, yo, this is a basket. We got to get this thing back. Yes. That's what it is. And you got to understand the history and be appreciative of the people that built this. Like, we have a beautiful practice facility. We get nice planes. We get good meals. It's not because I did anything. It's because of all the players that came through, that won, that did this the right way, right? If you talk to anybody at Temple, and you know this, they did more than just basketball here. Coach Chaney was great for Philadelphia.
Yes.
He got out in the community. If you can't be a part of the community when you're at Temple, it's not going to work. It just isn't. You have to be together with it. So we've tried to do it. You know, we partnered with Tyrese Maxey last year and did Thanksgiving food drive, right? You get back from a road trip, it's 3 a.m. Last thing you want to do in the world is get up at 7 a.m. But when you're handing out turkeys for people that need it and you're in the city, 1 block from your campus, like that's meaningful. That's making an impact. And I think you have to do that at a school like Temple to be successful. We need everybody. I need the city to fill this place. This building's great. It's huge. I need people to come to the game. So we got to get out there. Sorry, I'm going on a rant. You guys get me fired up here.
Dude, I love it. Coach, I think it's great. Let's talk about the landscape, because I actually think, I'm curious about what you have to say about this, that NIL, even the portal, but the NIL for sure, will help keep kids in school. I think it'll help the overall growth of college basketball. I think, you're going to see, like, I love what it did for football, and I think guys are going to stay. I think it's a great way that kids are going to earn, and that means they'll be more cohesive on the floor. Hopefully you get them to stay together, right, and not leave, and that'll just make them better just as a team. I mean, you remember those glory days of college basketball because those kids stayed together for 3 years, so they knew each other.
No, I agree. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? You want NIL, obviously, to retain. You want to retain your players, right? You see it too often today where your top 3 players are trying to go elsewhere, your bottom 3 going somewhere else, and you try to keep that middle core together. But you also have to give them a great experience. Like, I think that's something that we want to try to do. We bring in guest speaker in the summertime, right? We had Drew Katz come speak to our team, and he was phenomenal, right? Then you had David Edelman, owner of the 76ers. Like, these are opportunities you only get because you're at Temple basketball. Like, that's what we try telling our guys, those experiences. Kevin Nagandi's jumping on a Zoom, firing our team up to be our guest speaker. And that's what you need to do. You have to pair the NIL with having a great experience, and you have the great education. So you put those pieces together, and you hope that guys stay. I mean, look, we're getting ready, preparing for Eric Dixon. Recruited Eric Dixon when I was at the University of Miami. I thought he was a stud at Abington High School back then, and all he's done is gotten better and better and better, right? Like, that's great for college basketball, and he's one of the best players in the country right now. So I think you're right. I think you're spot on, man. I think it's got to be – embrace it. It's not going anywhere. We don't shy away from it. I'm not here to complain about it. It's here. Adjust.
Yes.
Adjust. Yep.
And I think kids are going to stay. I at least I'm hoping, and I think it gets back to it. Hey, tell me about Larinaga, because I've always thought he was a really sharp dude and really good defensive mind. I always liked defense, and I always thought he had that. He knew how to play it.
He's as good as it gets. I tell this story. So my wife and I, we got married in Philadelphia. Obviously, our whole family here when I'm at University of Miami. And a hurricane is coming to Miami the weekend we're getting married in Philadelphia. So the whole staff that was invited can't come, right? They're like, we can't fly. So what Coach L and his wife did, they flew out 3 days before the wedding. He said, I'm not going to miss this. So he got out before the hurricane. That's the kind of person he is. He's family to me. So for him to come out, like, that just summed it up. Like, this guy's just hanging out. He's like calling me the day before the wedding. Hey, where can I get a cheesesteak at, Fish? Where can I get, like, he's
that's awesome.
Just wants to be there. On the court, he's a genius. Like, he just gets the most out of guys. He's the best teacher I've been around. Like, the court is his classroom. He says it all the time. Like, he's going to teach you the game, and just the way he builds a program. He treats everybody there with respect. Whether you're the janitor or you're the star player who's about to go in the first round, it doesn't matter to him. Everybody helps build his team, build his culture, and he treats everybody that way. So I am so lucky. 8 years. I got him on speed dial. Anytime I don't know what to do, I just pick up the phone and call him. And I am so grateful for his friendship and his wife. His wife is phenomenal. She's always there. But you're right. He's got this defensive mindset, but also offensively, he knows how to
just
change.
The relationship, right? The relationship between offense and defense, it works. Like, if you're playing it correctly, you'll get transition buckets. It'll play off each other. Real quick, Coach, I do want to thank everybody for watching on Roku and Samsung and the Xfinity One platform. We continue, obviously, right here on YouTube. So make sure you stay with us. We got Jack Muldoon, Coach Abana Prendi, and they celebrated a championship last night. We want to talk to Coach TV Toddd. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And, of course, Coach Adam Fisher from Temple, who is just a treasure. Dude, I got to tell you, I love, everything, your journey up until this point has prepared you, right? Like, I feel like you are in a perfect spot now to nestle in and really build this thing the way it should be built.
No, that's the goal. That's what I want to do. And I think, again, it's, it's one of the blessings and the curse, having done every job. Like, I'm neurotic at practice. I have my manager eyes on, right? I see a ball rolling. And I'm like, pick up the ball. Someone could roll an ankle. Like, you're like, wipe up that wet spot. Like, that's the manager in me, right? And then I'm like the video coordinator in me. Hey, are we getting this angle? Like, we're switching ends of the court. Move the camera angle. Like, and then you got to focus on your team, right? So all these different things go through my crazy mind in the course of a practice. But we want to build this up. Again, this is a great place. You get to play on national TV all the time. You play in a historic program. It's had so many great players. Like, you hear all the time, like, oh, man, can you make it to the NBA from there? Well, 37 guys or 38 guys have got drafted. So, hell yeah, you can. Can you go to an Elite Eight here? Hell yeah, you can. Like, we got the fan base, and they're passionate. Like, sometimes we went through a 10-game losing streak last year. They were mad. They should be. I'm mad too. Right? Like, you got to be able to go win, but you got to know that passion is, hey, when you win, we see it. It's all across the board. Like, I'm a huge Eagles fan, right? I love listening to you guys talk about that before I came on. Huge Phillies fan, right? The Sixers, like, this place is there. They want to pick you up. And that's what we need. We need to build it back so that people come. And I say this all the time. I don't want people to come because of our opponent. Don't just show up when we play Memphis or it's Villanova. I want you to come because you want to see Temple. It don't matter who's on the schedule. I'm here to see Temple play tonight, and that's what we need to do.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you, Cam Wallace is a really nice recruit for you guys, 4-star. I'm pretty sure Temple offered him before you were on the scene. But you got to walk me through, because in June, Buzz Williams at A&M comes sniffing around and makes the kid an offer. Are you sweating this out at that point? Is there a process where, I don't know how it works. Do you not have communication with Cam at that point, or do you go into overdrive being like, yo, A&M's sniffing around, we got to kick it up a notch?
When we got the job, we sort of identified that, hey, this recruiting class right when we got here was going to be difficult, meaning we got to put a lot of focus on 25. So we offered guys right away. We spent a lot of time. With Cam, first off, great young man, great family from a great place, right? Westtown is awesome. Seth Berger's done an amazing job there. You see other schools offer, and you walk into a gym and there is Buzz sitting there, and you're not going to lie to you, you're sitting there going, oh, crap.
Right.
It's like that.
Right.
But what we did, we made it a point to be at every one of his games. So somebody on my staff was at every one of his games the entire summer. And the only message to him, nothing changed. We didn't really amp it up. It was just, hey, you're going to know at the end of the summer who really wants you, because it's a family. When family, you show up, right? You just show up, whether it's a reunion, a funeral, Thanksgiving, whatever it is, family comes together. And I said, look, I got a lot of places our staff could be. There's a lot of great players, a lot. But the fact that we didn't miss you play once this summer should show you how we feel about you. And then our message is consistent. A great job. My staff was awesome. Bobby Jordan, Coach Huger, Chris Clark, Khalif Wyatt. They do an amazing job, and they deserve a ton of credit because they're awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. Don't forget, tomorrow, we got to tell everybody, it's a triple header, all right? It's Big Five basketball. Coach Fish, man, you love the Big Five. And this whole thing is great when it comes to preserving it. It's all Philadelphia. And again, Penn Drexel, Villanova Temple, and St. Joe's LaSalle. So we get a triple header. Tickets, $30, man. You can't beat that. Big5Classic.com.
I don't know if you've heard this one before in the chat. There's a lot of pressure. They're calling the fish that saved Temple.
Please don't. I don't need any. Not at all. Not at all. It takes a village here. Trust me. But no, we're excited. Tomorrow, I think, is going to be awesome. It's a great opportunity. It's great for all the schools involved. It's great for the city. Like, who else does this in the country? right? Like there's nobody.
Right.
And the respect you have, right? We all go and we're around each other all the time. Like I laugh, we're all recruiting against each other. And then we go to Coaches versus Cancer and we all come together to raise money. And it's a great job. Like you think about Coach Martelli, like we have the big five, right? Like Coach Martelli, Coach Duffy. I called Dr. G last night. I had a question for him about basketball. I'm like, man, question for you. And he was like, so grateful I called him. Like, I'm going to tap into as many people as I can that have experienced this big five to make sure my team fully understands it. Cause I get it. But like I told the guys, I can't score anymore. I'm not doing nothing out there. So it's them that got to go score, defend. And they got to know when anytime you play in the big five, we saw it versus LaSalle. Like these games, nobody cares what your record is when you play in a big five game. No, it's out the window. This is about who's going to go compete, who's going to play harder and more together for 40 minutes.
Temple coach Adam Fisher. Fish, you're fantastic. You have great energy. You have a great karmic kind of vibe to you, and you know we're rooting for you.
Anytime you want to be at practice or a game, front row, right, whatever they call it, just let me know, Anthony. Whatever you need, I'll even let your LaSalle friend come to a game if he wants. Right?
Thank you, my brother. Good luck
Thanks,
to you,
guys.
brother. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Coach Adam Fisher, he's fantastic.
Yeah,
What an
he's a good
energy,
dude, yeah.
right? Like he's got just great energy about him.
He should be a good recruiter. He's got a great personality.
Oh,
and
what
vibe.
a personality!
Yeah.
Like, and he's done every job, right? Like, so
dude, starting from like a graduate
that
manager
shows you something,
Yeah.
right? Like, all right. So we were talking about this whole week, right? That we have the 3 days of Southeastern Pennsylvania high school football championships. And this is amazing. What a testimony, right, to our area. And we're the hotbed. I was on a call yesterday with people in LA, right? And we were I was talking about how Philadelphia is like, Texas, right? And Florida and Western PA when it comes to high school football. You don't know that Philadelphia right now and South Jersey, it's a hotbed. Southeastern Pennsylvania and Southern New Jersey is a hotbed for high school football, man. It's awesome stuff. So last night we had Bonner Prendy beat Lampeter Strasburg, and I'm so proud. I love it. I'm following along. Tonight's Roman, Saturday's the prep, and we got Coach Jack Muldoon from Bonner Prendy. Coach, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good, Anthony. How are you? Pretty fired up listening to Coach Fisher. Both my kids went to Temple, so it was great to hear that Temple basketball's in great hands.
You as coach to coach, and you got to love the messaging because, I know of you, and I know of how you are, and you are like exude football leadership and Philadelphia.
100%, yeah. Hey, I'm a Philadelphian born, Delco raised, and I believe in the roots of this great our city, this great area. Yeah, you said it right off the top. This is a big time area for high school football, and this year we're proving it with having 3 of our teams from the PCL in the state finals.
I'm so proud of you guys. I love it. Congratulations on the win last night. Take us through your day. I want to hear all about it, man. The audience wants to hear about it. Tell us about the game, the kids, what you did leading up to it and through it.
Yeah, so it was kind of a long day. We had an exciting week. Winning on Friday night, getting through that semifinal game that kept tripping us up. Monday we got to go down to the NovaCare. The Eagles invited us down, so we got a great 3-hour practice. In the bubble, and then we had a normal practice the rest of the week. Yesterday we were up at school early, and we had Fox 29 was there. Did like little kind of Jen Fred did like a thing, with our team, and then from that point on, it was really kind of putting together like I try to keep the day as normal as possible. Traveled up there a little early. They were able to have our team meal in a middle school that was right near Cumberland Valley, which is a great complex. And then from that point on, man, we just did our normal pregame preparation. And by the time we hit the field, our kids were like just, you know, they were just lit, ready to go, man.
So take us through the start of the game, and you know what you saw, and you know what that whole experience like for the kids to win.
Yeah,
I mean that's such a what a feat.
Yeah, our kid, this group of kids, this group of seniors is the winningest group that ever came through our school. And we've had some great eras of Bonner football over the years, back in the like early, you know, 60s and through some of the 70s, 80s, and Anthony Beck's 94 championship team. So, you know, these kids really have added that legacy. So we just didn't want to get to the final game. They were determined. We wanted to finish our mission, and they were. You know, there isn't anything that's too big for this group. We went to Ireland last year and played NFL Academy.
I love that story. Yeah.
So, you know, I said this team we were Catholic League champions a couple years ago. We were international champions, and now we're PA state champions.
Who shined last night?
I'll tell you what, our defense played really well. Then we knew it was primarily a run. You know, that team their success was mostly running the ball. We held them 1 for 6 in passing. We had 3 interceptions. They had thrown an interception all year. Our defense played amazing. And once we got going, offense, our running back, Mick Johnson, had 4 touchdowns. Our West Virginia recruit, Julio Hall, had a great game. Our quarterback, Fat Campbell, his nickname's Fat. He played a great game, and as usual, our offensive line, you know, we kind of challenged them every game, did their jobs, and you know, protected him, and you know, we averaged 38 points a game, and we scored 40 last night. So it was we played up to our standard.
That's fantastic. What did you listen? You've been at this a minute, all right?
Yes,
You've had an illustrious career. What does this mean to you? And then what did you tell them going into the game?
So it means a lot to me personally. You know, I'm a Bonner guy, you know, played there. My whole family went there. I work at the school. I'm the director of alumni relations. So, you know, personally, this meant a lot to me. My son's on the team. He's a senior. And so a lot of emotional ties, you know, to the school, a lot of friends, a lot of great alumni. So it meant a lot to me that we really kind of validated how well we've done in the last 5-6 years to get a state title. And we kind of last year we lost in overtime to Dallas, PA, which was bad losing to Dallas anytime, especially losing to Dallas, PA. And literally from the day after, we challenged our kids to get bigger, stronger, and we really changed our whole off-season program, and it showed. And we had 2 losses this year. We lost LaSalle and the Prep, and you know, it's not, you know, the number 1 and 2 team in the state,
right?
So we did our job with everyone else. So I was very proud of the commitment that our team took in preparing for the season, which is, for football, it's the weight room.
Yes.
And every other sport, you know, shortstops take 1,000 ground balls, basketball players shoot, but for football to really advance and to really be prepared for the season, you got to put that commitment in from January, you know, on into making yourself bigger and stronger.
That is such great advice. What did you tell the kids before the game? Like, what was your messaging?
Yeah, so we had so these guys from the class of you know, I'm big on making our kids understand what we're about. You know, our school, you know, we have a thing, Bonner High, we're loyal, and we always talked about finishing, and but I said there's people that started this for us. So one of the alums, one of these guys from our class of '69. Team that won the Southern Division Championship. John Capoletti was on that team. He had this old like jacket he gave to me like 6 years ago. It's like a classic football sideline coat. And I pulled that out and I said, look, we're gonna do this for all the guys who could never get to this game. And I wore that coat. Now it was tight on me, and it was I love it. But it was warm. But I wanted them to understand that this wasn't just for them. They were playing for, thousands and thousands of Bonner alums who never got to that game. And but then I also told them to go have fun. It was their night.
Sure.
Our kids like to have fun. They like to celebrate. I have a very athletic team. I just had one of our receivers signed on at West Virginia, Jaleel Hall. So I told him, man, just go out and show them you're the best player in the state. So I wanted our kids to go have fun, and then to understand that a lot of people had their backs.
I love that. I know.
Hey, Coach, can I ask you? We were talking with Danny at St. Joe's Prep about their pregame meals. What was the lucky pregame meal for you guys yesterday?
So our pregame meal, I'm big pasta and grilled chicken. So we went up there and they let us eat at a middle school that was in the Cumberland Valley High School campus. This place is amazing. And so we ordered from this Italian place, Da Vinci's, and we had pasta with grilled chicken, garlic bread, and Caesar salad.
Nice.
And it was perfect. If I left it up to kids, I let them vote sometimes. It would have been Chick-fil-A. I'm like, no. We're going to go with the classic Italian meal, and it was great.
I love it. Oh, Coach, that's so great. You guys going to have this celebration? What are you guys going to do at the school?
We're going to do something. We're going to take this thing.
Yeah,
we're going to take this thing, and I'm going to take it everywhere with me this week. And and our school president, Dr. Cook, is a great guy. And he told the boys, hey, we'll have a day for you. And then at some point, they said they give them the day off, which I think a lot of them took it anyway. But the school will do a celebration, and it's earned. It's well deserved. These kids dedicate a lot of their time and efforts. I don't think people understand all the time how much it takes. I'm sure Anthony, to compete in any sport,
sure.
And then to get to the state championship level and win it. It's a testimony to those kids and their grit.
I think it's beautiful, man. I'm so proud of you. And God bless you, man. You deserve it. Again, you've been doing this for a minute, and a guy like you, I'm so happy that you're a great football man. You deserve this.
You
dude.
see Coach leaning back to make sure we see that state champs hoodie he's got on.
My wife got. They were like literally making these up last night. My wife got it for me. So she's the real star. She's the real star of the show. My coaches, they put a lot of time in.
Sure. And
time and effort, and our families are, and mine especially, are amazingly supportive. And it's a real. I always say, like, for us to do this right, when I took the position, I'm like, we need the administration, we need the parents, the school, the teachers, and then of course our families to be part of it, so we don't ever want to leave them out. But yeah, man, I'm going to wear this thing, with, I don't care what, I'll spill wing sauce on it and everything, man. This thing's not coming off for a while.
You're the greatest, Coach. You really are. God bless you a million times, man.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it.
You're fantastic. You're kidding me. I love the story. I think it's awesome. I want 3, right? We got to get Roman tonight. We get the prep on Saturday. It's a family thing. It's also,
it is.
It shows you, like, we love sports in the You're a huge sports guy. We love sports in the Delaware Valley. It's only right? It's only right that we have our place at the top of the pecking order in high school football.
100%. Yeah, it's a great area for all sports. Obviously a great basketball area. But yeah, I texted Coach Preet this morning, and I said, all right, I handed the baton to you, Coach. Go get them. And I coached the prep for 10 years, so I know a lot of the coaches there. And reached out to a couple, Coach Suggs and a couple other guys, and say, hey, man, we expect you guys to, to finish the deal, and then we'll let people know that the Philadelphia area, is a great place for high school football in the state of Pennsylvania.
Brother, I'm with you. Coach Jack Muldoon, you are a treasure, man. Listen, Merry Christmas to you and your family. God bless you.
Thank you, Anthony.
And enjoy it, brother. You earned it.
Yeah, man. I thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I love talking about what we do, and I love you. And yeah, thank you. You have a Merry Christmas too as well.
Thanks, brother. Jack,
Thanks,
dude, Coach Bonner Preddy. Oh, great champs.
Great story, man.
Is he just
Good dude.
What a guy,
Yeah.
man. That's a
Delco guy.
I love that, man. I just love that. I do. I love it. All right, it's Friday, and you know who we got on Friday?
Yes.
TV Todd. Act like a man. You can't handle the truth.
It's time for TV Todd.
And there he is. Oh, man.
Hey.
Todd. What do you say,
Good morning,
Toddrick?
guys. How you doing?
Todd? We're good. We're doing good. It's a football Friday. It's whole thing. It's a Flyers Friday. Even though they lost, they showed a lot of grit in that game last night.
Are you not entertained by this team?
Yeah.
I know it wasn't the result we wanted, but come on. Mitchkoff with the 3 assists, the excitement. Look, this is good entertaining stuff.
It is. It's against Joey.
Size of his
Speaking
jacket.
of cold, come here.
Joe, you got the big.
Look
This is how cold it is in here.
Look at this coat he's wearing.
Turn around.
He's sitting in the North Pole.
Do a spin.
You know what that looks like? That looks like one of those. You know what that looks like, Anthony?
This cone I hit my face and so I had a bunch of blood on it.
Oh my God.
Come on, good.
That's a big coat.
Dude, I'm chilling over there.
Oh my God.
Oh, man, you
know
got
what
to keep
that
your
looks
eyes on
like?
him at the Wawa. He's filling that up with stuff. That coat's huge.
Anthony, that looks like one of those muscle suits like that you would put on. That looks like a muscle suit.
It does. Hey, by the way, Todd, that's Joey Marone.
How you doing?
That's
nice.
Joey Marone, yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Good that's awesome.
We have a thing here with coats.
It's wild, man.
Right? Johnny Marks, like when he does the show, Todd, he gets done and he sprints to the bathroom, right? He's got this gigantic coat with a fur collar, like
a parka.
Like he's going to Siberia, right? The Trans-Siberian Express. and he goes and he wears it in the bathroom. And I'm going, why are you wearing a big coat in the bathroom? Like it doesn't make sense.
I love Johnny Marks. I've seen that coat. That guy. He's the elevator. He's freaking over the elevator. I mean, this guy's trying to stay.
He did a live thing on Twitter, something walking up the steps.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Yeah, the elevator.
Hey, Todd, why I got you here and you're a hockey man? I need to vent and see where you're at with me. The goaltending was atrocious last night. Ersan does not play. No one knows why. And Torts does not go to the podium after the game and skips the press conference, basically because he doesn't want to answer questions, probably about why he did not play Ersan. What do you think about that?
Well, listen, I'm not a fan of any coach who skips the press conference. Sports there's good games, there's bad games, there's tough questions. You step up and you answer those questions. So I'm not a fan of that. In terms of the goaltending, I was expecting to see Ersan last night, but I was thinking maybe he's trying to stretch it out a little bit because we got the Bruins tomorrow. I don't know. But listen, I think last night reminded us that it's time to make some goalie decisions here. Yeah. Ersan's our number one guy. He needs to come back and play. Let's decide who we're going to keep between Kolosov and Fedotov. I think we kind of know the answer. Mm-hmm. And let's get going because we're in the mix here.
Yeah, agree. I'm with you. All right, buddy. So lots to get to today. So this is week number 2 of our Christmas movie TV kind of countdown. And we're going to go animation claymation.
Oh,
listen, when you first threw that out, I was like, all right, that may be a little daunting to me. Let me tell you something. When I really sat down and thought about it, this may be my favorite week because because here's why. We're going to talk about the top 6, 8, whatever claymation animation films that, in my opinion, and I think you guys are going to agree with me a lot more than you did last week.
I know where you're going.
I think you do. These are the films that were
they came out in the 60s and early 70s, and they are the GOATs today. So what I did was I put them in order chronologically, not by which I like the best, but by when they came out, because there's a progression there. There's a progression there. So let's start with the first. You know, before all these shows, it says a Rankin Bass production. So Rankin Bass were producers. They did the first stop motion animation for these holiday classics. And the first one, 1964, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, narrated by Burl Ives. One of everybody's
watched it. We watched it as kids. My kids watched it. You watched it. Everybody watched it. It's a great one.
It's a great one. The Abominable Snowman.
Some of these things.
Yeah,
Frazier.
I want to be a dentist.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's great.
Dentist. Oh, the best. That's my man, Vinny. That's my buddy Vinny's. Vinny's the dentist.
It's Misfit Toys, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So that was 1964. Okay. Then a year later, we get a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Wow. Yeah. There he goes. There's the dentist. It's my man, Vinny the dentist.
Yep.
And then you're right, Charlie Brown. Come on, Charlie Brown Christmas is an iconic.
I'm out on Charlie Brown Christmas.
What, with the tree?
Yeah,
the little tree?
I'm not a fan of the Charlie Brown stuff.
I mean, listen, I'm not
You always felt like a downer.
I'm not throwing a parade with Charlie Brown, but
it felt like a downer, the Charlie Brown Christmas.
It's supposed to be a downer. Charlie Brown was a depressed child.
Yeah, who wants to watch that?
Yeah, it's like a weak tree, right?
I mean, let's be honest. If you're bald at his age, you're probably pretty depressed. He needs to see our people wearing glad hair. Charlie Brown's got some problems going on.
He's got a weak tree.
That's Charlie Brown.
The Charlie Brown tree is a term that's used in our culture.
Today,
getting the Charlie
yes.
Brown tree. That was 1965, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, we weren't even born. And
no,
it's nuts. Think about it. You're right on, Todd. That tree, you see a bad tree. We all go shopping for trees.
Yep.
Right?
That's a Charlie Brown.
And you go, that tree, that's a Charlie Brown tree.
That's it. They even sell them.
I just don't watch it. If
Yeah.
it comes on, I skip it.
All right.
I think it's the hair. He's caught up on the hair.
Yeah. All right, I like it. What else you got?
All right. So then we go a year later, and a year later we have a show that comes out by Looney Tunes creator Chuck Jones. He did all the Looney Tunes, right? He does How the Grinch Stole Christmas, animated or narrated by Boris Karloff.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Wow, that's all. Yes. Boris I remember, I can hear it in my eye. I can hear it in my mind's eye. Oh my God. Yeah, there it is. You know what I mean?
There it is.
Yeah, look at that. I can hear it. Oh my God. That's fantastic. That's a great one, man. That's a great Grinch.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
And that version of, the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, like that version is the best. Right? That version is the best.
Yeah. Mr. Grinch.
It is the best one. Whole thing. He's got all the gifts on the sleigh. Come on, bro.
I'm a Grinch fan. It's not my favorite, but yeah, I'm a Grinch fan.
right.
I like the Boris Karloff. I like the music.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It is. I knew Tom would like that. He's a Boris Karloff fan.
Yeah.
100%. So then we'll jump 2 years later. 2 years. So we've already created classics, right? Now, 2 years later, we get Frosty the Snowman, narrated by Jimmy Durante. Frosty the Snowman. Listen, it's not my favorite of the group here. We're going to get into my favorite in the next two. But at the end of the day, it's it's an absolute classic. You got to watch Frosty the Snowman.
Another downer. I'd rather watch Hot Frosty.
What's that?
What's that? It's like the #1 show on Netflix. It's about a woman who, as a snowman, turns into a hot dude. And it's a romance film, Hot Frosty.
I mean, geez.
What?
Yeah.
Listen,
that's absurd.
I'm kind of with you. Of all the ones,
this one's sad too.
I'm anti Frosty.
This one's bad.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Frosty.
Nah.
I'll be honest with you.
Put some clothes on, Frosty. Give him something.
I'm not a big fan of Frosty.
Nah, it's depressing.
I like water ice.
All right. Well, listen.
Isn't he kinda
You're gonna
dopey,
love.
too? He's like,
You're gonna love the next.
Frosty.
Yeah, he's a dope. Yeah, he's a big to the doof, Frosty.
I'm gonna melt.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm okay. Be a puddle. I don't like that.
Be a puddle.
You know, a puddle with the carrot just laying in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
Weak ass nose.
Traumatizing watching as a kid. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. You had a lot of issues probably growing up, man.
Hey, man.
All right, the next two. Listen, the next two you can't take issue with. I think the next two.
There's one
are,
goat.
now we're getting into real stuff. 1970. 1970 brings us Santa Claus is coming to town.
Ah, the greatest.
Burgermeister.
The greatest.
That's it.
He outlaws toys, right? The
Yeah.
Burgermeister. Rudolph,
That's
they
it.
think the
Fred
dog
Astaire.
catcher. Dog catcher gets Rudolph, they think he's a dog.
That's it. Fred Astaire narrates the history of Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's a great
that's
one.
That's a solid one.
Yeah. Notice like they had the bad German guy, like the
Yes,
Burgermeister.
Burgermeister.
Oh, yeah.
And they outlawed like it's martial law.
Yeah.
Yes.
No Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a great
awesome.
one, man. They go to soldiers.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a good
That's
one.
awesome.
I like that.
And now here's my personal number one. I've been going in chronological order, but here's my personal number
This
one.
has to be the GOAT.
1974, The Year Without a Santa
The
Claus.
greatest.
Winner.
The
The
greatest.
best one. Yep.
The best one.
Mr.
Heat Miser,
Hot
Snow
Miser.
Miser.
Heat Miser.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Sun.
The best. Look at the Heat Miser. Like, that's a great looking dude, man.
I'm Mr. Green Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. 101.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, that's a classic.
He looks like a fullback.
That's fantastic.
I went to one of my Drexel roommates looked exactly like that guy. We called him Heat Miser on day one, and it stuck all through college.
I love that they have to go to Mother Nature.
Yeah, Mother Nature's she's the GOAT. She's the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Listen,
at it
these
again.
are VG. These are lessons that are relevant today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sibling rivalry.
Yes.
Enough.
So yeah.
The Cold Miser was like, I didn't like the Cold Miser, right? Like, you wanted to punch Cold Miser in the face.
No, I liked him.
He was my favorite one.
You go Heat Miser or Cold
I
Miser?
go Heat Miser.
Nah, I go.
Heat Miser greater than Cold Miser.
Oh, no, I think Cold Miser.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm with you.
How about you, Todd?
I like. I'd probably go Heat Miser.
Yeah.
But I also like all the little guys. I like
Yes.
the little Heat Misers and the little Cold Misers.
Yes. They're hysterical dancing around with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the GOAT. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Great one.
And think about that. That was 1964 to 1974. So in 10 years, we had those classics that are absolutely the GOATs today. They're on constantly. That's where everybody goes to watch.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Which one, Todd? Which one's got the Yukon Cornelius?
That's I think that's Rudolph the
That's
Red-Nosed
Rudolph.
Reindeer.
It's Rudolph.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
mines.
Don Cornelius.
He mines and
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. That's right.
He licks the pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
No.
good.
Oh, I used to love these movies when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
what a kid. The best is when you got kids and I would like, let's go. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch. We nestle in hot chocolate.
Oh yeah,
watch it.
I have a 3-year-old nephew, so he's just getting into that age now that we can watch these movies.
Yeah,
it's great.
So what else? You got?
I was looking at that list and then I was like, okay, maybe what are more modern, things? And listen, they don't connect with me as much, but you got Polar Express, you got Rise of the Guardians, those
Polar
those
Express
are good films.
was really good. I have to admit, that was really. Yeah. There was another one that came out that was good. He was like a mail carrier at the North Pole. His father was like the postal general. And it was basically this whole thing, and it was good. It was, dude, when you got the kids, right, like you're watching all of them. So I've watched them all over the last, 10 years.
There's a one
Polar
with the
Express.
What's
go
the one
ahead,
with
BJ.
what's the claymation one with the Baby New Year with the big ears? You remember that one?
Oh yeah, that's the New Year's one.
It's like that's a Rudolph one too, I think. Rudolph's
It's like Rudolph and like Father Time and like
That
the
one's
Saint
great.
Years.
That one's great, VG, when he takes the hat off and the ears pop out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
What Christmas movie
listen,
has all the they have like Mother Nature, the Tooth Fairy, like all the creatures.
That's Rise of the Guardians. That's where there's like this character Pitch Black, and he threatens the children of the world, and the Guardians are like Saint Nick, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, the Sandman.
Yes. That's a pretty good one.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Haven't seen it.
Wouldn't know.
You're looking serious about it.
Wouldn't know.
Hey, and I know we're talking holiday movies, which is great. I think we covered that pretty much. But I got to throw out a plug for something in the theaters right now.
Yes,
I got to tell you guys about this.
Yeah,
I went to a sneak preview last week of a film. I mean, it wasn't that special, but it was a film called The Order. And it stars Jude Law in what I consider to be the best performance Jude Law has ever thrown down.
Wow.
And he's a great actor, man.
I'm a big Jude Law fan.
He blew me away in this movie. So the movie is based on a true story, and it's about an FBI agent who goes hunting these white supremacist groups in the Pacific Northwest. And what it really is about is it's kind of the history of when these white supremacists and these other kind of hate groups started to work domestic terrorism into their program, like the Oklahoma City bombing, like stuff like that. Dude, this is such a good movie. I loved it so much. It comes out in limited release today. I know it's playing in your area somewhere. Jude Law deserves an Academy Award for this. He won't get it because it's a small film. Amazing. I loved it.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in.
You ever see The Young Pope?
I'm a big yes.
That was great. He was great in that.
He's a great actor. Jude Law is I think one of the great actors. Underrated too, dude.
You know what's great about this role is this role is he's older now, right? So like even he said to play
51.
this role of like an older kind of grizzled kind of FBI agent. He said he literally just grew a mustache, didn't shave, and showed up on set. And I'm telling you, it's hard to believe this is Jude Law. I was so sucked into the character. I loved it.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I'm with you. He's fantastic. You know, it's funny. He was great in Ripley. He was terrific in Ripley.
He was. Yep.
He was really, really good. He was better. Like that Ripley. I liked the show a lot. But the movie I loved the movie. I thought the movie was fantastic. Yeah. He's solid. So The Order, I definitely recommend it. I think you guys will really like it. See, it was a big Venice film that they had some trouble selling because of the violence. But it's well worth checking out. And then, for your fans who are going to be sitting at home watching football this weekend and want to stream some stuff, Beetlejuice streams now. Speak No Evil streams now. So there's a lot for everybody. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Todd, you hear anything on the new Amy Adams movie?
What's that called? She becomes like a parent, child, or child adopts a child. No.
Night Bitch.
No, I don't know.
No, I just heard about it the other day. I definitely want to go check it out. I'm going to see tomorrow, VG. I'm going to see Anora. Have you heard about Anora?
I've been reading about that. The reviews are really good.
Yeah.
People love that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Picked as one of the number one films of the year. So I'm going to go, and of course it's a smaller film. So I'm going to go check that out this weekend.
You know what I love is I feel like our type of movies are coming back. Smaller.
I hope, man.
I
hope.
Movies
you hope.
With some substance.
Yes.
Yes.
You hope. We hope.
100%. You guys got to keep watching Gangs of London, man. Keep going through it.
It's the best. It is so brutal. And listen, the story, it was funny because I think it lost Tab. She's been out. So I she'll fall asleep and I will watch 4 of them. So I think I left her in the dust and she's out on it. I try to explain to her, I'm like, the story's really good. She's like, too brutal, too brutal. And she's not one with a faint of heart, but that show is nasty.
You know what? You know how I was on your show last week and I talked about a flow chart, like you need a flow chart for that show? One of my buddies, Big Mike, who's a fan, listens to this show. Big Mike did actually show me, he took notes from episode 1 to try to remember all the characters and how they all connect.
Are you serious? That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's dedication.
You know, you might need to do that for In Blood.
You would need to do that for him. You know, I actually did that when I read In Blood.
Did you? You tracked him?
Yeah, I had to. I took notes on the side.
I made Todd read some of my stuff.
Oh, nice.
It's good. You didn't make me. It's good. I enjoy it.
My brother, always. What do you got cooking this weekend?
Going to go down to see a good buddy of mine, Oliver. We're going to go down to Fells Point and check out some bands. And
nice.
You know, it's Krampus. I just heard it's Krampus weekend down there. I'm not sure what that means.
Krampus, isn't that that movie that Santa?
Yeah.
It's a German holiday.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, Krampus.
It's a German holiday.
He's an evil like Santa Claus that eats children.
Oh, really?
If you're bad, the Krampus.
What is it? Let me ask you a question. All right, God bless the Germans, but man, they're nasty. Like all those because they all come from those the old stories.
Yeah,
like those tales,
folklores, and all
they
that.
all come from Germany. And they all torture kids.
Nasty, yeah.
Dude,
Hansel and Gretel.
you're so right, Anthony. You're so right. Isn't in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang the person who rounds up the kids and puts them in jail like a German character?
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel. Like, what's the deal, man?
So,
like, what do you got against kids?
Krampus accompanies St. Nick on the night of December 5th, and St. Nicholas rewards well-behaved children with small gifts, while Krampus punishes badly behaved ones with birch rods.
Oh, my God. Like, what's that about?
Did you ever see? Didn't you see the whole
picture? Nothing. There's like a whole something that hates children. I don't understand it.
Didn't you see the film Krampus with Toni Collette and Adam Scott? It's all about. It's a horror film all about that.
Yeah, come on. I mean, we got to relax. Krampus.
Todd, you ever been to the Soundgarden down there at Fells Point?
No, where's Soundgarden?
The Soundgarden. It's right in the heart of it. It's one of my top 3 record stores on the planet. Great record store. I would check it out.
Oh,
I will.
Cool. That's awesome.
That's the Krampus.
That's Krampus.
Yeah.
It's an ugly looking thing.
It's like a goat creature, a horned beast.
I want to hit it with a bat. Bleep you, Krampus. My man, Todd. Thank you, my brother. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, guys. Let's go Flyers, go Birds.
Go Flyers, go Birds. There he is. TV Todd.
So, hey, before we get out of here, someone in the chat wanted us to just mention Baseball Hall of Fame announcements are coming on Sunday. Dick Allen's up for it. He lost by one vote last time. So let's give some good luck to.
Come on, let's go, Richie. Big Dick Allen.
I'm looking at this ballot, and I don't know. It should be him or Dave Parker. Those two should probably be in.
I'd love to see it. Next week is going to be a big baseball week on the show.
Okay.
Also, don't remind me, we got Rite Aid back in the day before we get out. But I think I hear Black Gritty. Is that Black Gritty?
What up, cuz? What up, VG? So today, I don't have anything crazy to say to you. I just want to ask you guys a question.
Is that because of Carolina? Like you don't, you know, you're not.
It's because of the fans. I want to have an actual serious thing. I don't want to be joking. Like, what is wrong with us? Why are we so hurt? Okay? Philadelphia does this thing where we all want to run the ball. We see how the team is built. We got pitchforks out. We're like, run the ball. The team runs the ball, and then all of a sudden it's, well, Jalen's not throwing it enough, and he can't throw the ball. I'm like, it's the same conversation we had on the run to the Super Bowl, and then he gets to the Super Bowl, and outside of a fumble, he has the highest grade of any quarterback in a Super Bowl, throwing all over the field. So you've seen that he can do it. The team is built to play a certain way, the way the defense is playing, the way the offensive line is playing, having one of the greatest running backs in the league on your team. Why are we so broken that we can't just enjoy what we wanted? Everyone asked for this man to run the ball, but now everybody's like, Jalen can't throw it. Why are we like this, guys?
See, I don't know that it's as pervasive as you think it is. I think most people are enjoying this thing. I mean, I think it's the right I think it's the right thing. I mean, social media has a tendency to exaggerate. You think everybody feels that way. I think most people are going, yeah, man, I like the offense. I like the way it goes. Run the ball, right? Let Jalen play point guard. We've been talking about it all morning. I think it's the way to it's the perfect formula. They have a great defense. They match, right? On both sides of the ball, they match.
I think because it's a talking point on the national, like Emmanuel Alto's out there being like, oh, they're hiding something with Jalen. They're hiding something. They don't want him throwing. And then the ESPN's got, well, they're going to have to throw the ball sometime. Are they going to be able to win? So I think that creeps into people's psyches.
But that's a fallacy in itself.
Not good.
If you have a defense, the way the Eagles are playing defense, why do I assume that the Lions are going to have 30? Yeah. I don't know if the Lions are going to score 30 on this defense. This defense is really good.
And my basic key to that is I know that it's like not everyone, but it's even like when I have conversations with some people that aren't in like how we are, but they say, oh, but Jalen this, but Jalen that. And I'm like, okay, so if you watch the game in the second half against the Ravens, do you know that he's running the hurry up and he's calling the audibles? Because now he's in charge of the audibles and seeing the defense. He kept the defense on the field, doing the RPO. He runs one, he hands it off, he passes to AJ over the middle, and then they break that run for a touchdown. He kept that defense locked on the field, running the offense the way it needed to be run because this guy wins games at the end of the game. So I really don't even worry about him being able to pass because I feel like with AJ Brown and if Smitty's healthy, like that guy just makes the most unbelievable catches when you throw it up to him. So I don't even worry about it. So I'll just ask the question because, yes, we do have the Panthers this week. I expect them to go in here and blow the doors off of these guys. I know the Panthers have been playing well, but he's going to have another welcome to the NFL moment, that young quarterback, because Carter's going to break through all those holding that weren't called last week. He's going to break through and do it, guys. So I wasn't super worried about the Panthers. It's not a trap game because the Eagles have shown that they don't worry about trap games. They're going week to week, play who's in front of you, and get these doors done.
Yeah, I just think the matchup itself is like, because of the defense, again, this like Bryce Young, I would be stunned if Bryce Young could mount, 20 points against the Eagles defense. I don't see it.
Matthew Stafford couldn't throw to one side of the field for 90% of the game. Bryce Young should not be allowed to throw to half the field. So we're in accordance with that. And go Birds! I know you guys have been going long, so go ahead and get out of here and watch that step. Them steps is crazy. Well, I was trekking up that mountain because I didn't know if I was going to make it. I called the Lord, my daughter, everybody. It's a trek, boy. You got it, though. I believe in you.
Yeah, I know.
Have a good one, guys. Go Birds!
Go Birds! Go Birds! Yes. All right. Time for our Rite Aid back in the day moment. Back.
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with Rite Aid. Yeah!
All right.
Back in the day moment. Well, we're going to go back to last weekend, and we're going to watch the hit one more time.
Williams.
I love ending the week like this. That's genius.
Nothing to work with there as he's pile driven into the ground by the rookie Cooper DeJean.
Williams. 93.
3rd and 11. Nothing to work with there as he's pile driven into the ground by the rookie Cooper DeJean.
I love that kid, man. I swear to God, that was my favorite thing of the week.
Hey, while we're talking about Krampus and weird things, I have a buddy in Iceland who told me about the Yule Cat. So in Iceland, this Yule Cat goes around. If children do not get new clothes before Christmas Eve, this Yule Cat is supposed to go around and eat them.
Oh my gosh!
Like what's going on, man?
Like imagine if your parents can't afford to buy you clothes.
I know we're going to torture kids. You wonder why everybody grew up like you're still skittish. You still got issues.
Yeah, they have
like the whole society. Like it's crazy. Like all those what are they called? The old tales.
Fables, myths,
whatever they
Fables, yeah.
You know, they're all horrible. They're all designed to torture
There's
kids.
a giant statue they have in town. Like,
look at that. Yeah, the kids. The Yule Cat's going to come eat you.
You didn't get new socks.
No wonder why people are. You wonder why people grow up today as adults and they're all free. They all have issues.
That thing's terrifying.
The cat eats just the food.
You wonder why the guys get all gummies every day. I guess
The cat eats just the food of people without new clothes.
Oh my
messed
gosh,
up, man. That's some messed up stuff. Next week, a lot of baseball. Michael Jack Schmidt Doc.
Nice.
Comes out on MLB. Cannot wait for that.
We might have to do a winter,
we got the winter meetings.
winter coat fashion show maybe next week.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes. Johnny Marks' pea coat. We got a lot to get to. We always end with a prediction on the game. What do you got? Frazier.
Oh, this is easy. 34-12.
34-12. Bird.
4 field goals?
Yep.
All right.
They're not
two
scoring.
touchdowns and no extra points. All right,
Yep.
how about that? All right, 12. It's an oddity, but it's good. I
It's
like
going
it.
to happen.
Little Joey Marone, what do you got? Eagles. Give me a score. Get your head out of the phone before I throw it out the window.
I think the score's going to be this for the weekend, for this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to.
Boo!
I don't know.
Come on, man.
Are you playing Candy Crush over
What
there?
are you doing? What were you doing on your phone? I'm going to be like your teacher.
I don't know. I think it's going to be. It's going to be a close game. I say it's going to be like.
No, it's not going to be close.
You don't think it's going to be close?
No.
You don't. Wait.
No, you're out. No.
No,
I love you. You're out. That's your. That I did that on purpose. You know that.
He was looking up new jackets.
Less bulky jackets. 34-24 Birds.
20. They're going to score 24 points. No freaking way,
man.
cuz. No way.
I'm going all field goals, and you think they're going to get 20 points?
Maybe it's 8 field goals. 24.
38-10.
38-10. Oh,
Yes.
man. Chesty. That's a chesty one.
I like 38-10.
I don't see how. I don't see how they score.
Ed Wright says 35-6.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. All right. That's going to do it for us, everybody. Have a great weekend, man. We love you. All right. Be safe. And as we always say, go Birds.
We all silly like the mayor.